You are now listening to the Sae Bae Cast, the #1 old school RuneScape podcast featuring guests from all across Galanor. To support this podcast, visit the Patreon link in the description.
All right, welcome to the Sae Bae Cast number 80 with Hooti Tooti. Hooti Tooti, how you doing this fine afternoon? Or actually, I don't even know what time it is for you. Isn't it like 2 in the morning for you? I have no fucking idea.
Yeah. I set an alarm for 2:30 a.m. It's currently 3, so yeah. It's a nice early morning. Though, to be fair, my sleep schedule has never been consistent. But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm happy to be on here. Thank you for inviting me. This is a very exciting thing, and looking forward to talking about all the stuff we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it's going to be cool to see in a few more days, like, I don't know, looking back at this episode, because you and Eevescape have been working. I mean, apparently just you. Eevescape self-admittedly just said, like, it's all you, basically. But the Speedrun Cup that's coming up in a few days is pretty exciting. And it's going to be cool to kind of maybe look back at this podcast after it's all been done, because then we really see how much time and effort was really put into it. Because all we have right now is the trailer, which, first of all, even if everything was just centered on the trailer is fucking amazing. I gotta hand it to you. It is the greatest thing I've ever seen put together, OSRS related. Better than Lil Smokey's little thing. Better than no, seriously. Like this. Okay, this is my opinion, of course. So some people might have differing opinions.
I mean,
it's amazing.
Yeah. To be fair though, first Smokey has been like ahead of the game for years. Like that was what. Like
that is true.
That was. Yeah. If you think about all his like 3D stuff he's done was just way before anyone else even thought about it. But yeah, the Speedrun Cup. Very exciting. I'm sure, yeah, in a few days I'll be a lot less stressed about the tournament running well. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with it, but yeah, no, it's a lot of work, hundreds of hours of work going into it. And I can see why. So with the first Speedrun Cup that happened in 2020, I guess. So we Eevescape did pretty much all of it, and I just did the graphics. Like, so the admin of for some context, the teams they have to do their runs, like they get their one or whatever chance to do a run in the boss. So like let's say they're going to do their Inferno run, and to make sure they're not just sending numerous attempts of the Inferno and just submitting whatever one's quick, Eevescape had to be there to watch the run and like sort of verify that one run they submit is the one run that they perform for the tournament in that round. So yeah, that's the admin side of it, is sort of sitting in voice calls with screen shares of people just playing the game and waking up at 2 a.m. for some dude in Lithuania to do his cocks, and then setting an alarm for 4 hours because some dude on the west coast of America has organized his gauntlet. And yeah, that's the hours that you don't see and probably wouldn't ever think of. That goes into the admin side of the tournament. That which is why Eevescape has put this tournament on me this time, because I was really adamant on hosting another one, but now I see why he didn't want to do another one. So yeah, that's why I'm in charge of this one. And yeah, no, but it's exciting. I think it'll be worth it.
Oh, yeah. No, these things are always massive. First of all, because we don't really have any other people in the community that do these kind of massive events. I mean, yeah, there's the occasional PvP event, but it's like, But these are something special. They really are. And I think it might be hard to see from your end, because I swear to God, when you're in the middle of things, it doesn't, I don't know, everything just seems very regular and normal to you, because just what you've been doing for months now. But for the audience that's about to witness it, it's like very exciting. I'm very fucking stoked for this. And because you were just saying all of these like verification things, let me just state to the audience. So I did watch the Based After Dark episode with Hooti Tooti and Eevescape. And as many of you probably already know, but for those that don't know, the Speedrun Cup is not live, as Hooti Tooti just said. Like the runs have been pre-recorded, but had to be verified. So they're not like obviously just having 20 runs or something and having your best one up there. So it definitely will be easier to organize that way. I can't even imagine how alive thing would like even
Yeah,
play out. You'd
I
have to
don't think.
pay people a lot of money to like get them all
I mean,
there.
we we struggle enough getting what like 16 people or content creators together for a battle royale at one time. I can't imagine 40 just RuneScape players.
Yeah.
Just they are the least RuneScape players are the least reliable people I've come to
So
learn.
true.
When they've got
It's
really
so
like no
true.
commitment fully to like
Yeah.
the event. I mean, to be fair, a lot of them have been very good and very helpful. But yeah, I think sometimes it just from there and they don't see the importance of like this tournament is dependent on them coming and doing their runs. Like
Yeah.
if some team made it to the grand final and just said we don't feel like playing anymore, then I mean that's just hours wasted and just the show can't really go on, can it? But yeah, it's yeah,
Yeah.
a lot behind the scenes.
It's kind of exciting just to see all the, I don't know, to hear of all the preparations that have gone along with this. And you know what? I want to kind of bring up something that I heard on Base After Dark was you are new to Blender and somehow you came out with a fucking masterpiece within, well, I mean, it still took like hundreds of hours, I think. But the fact that you were basically a beginner going into it and then making an absolute work of art, that is absolutely amazing. And I want to kind of, for those that most likely haven't heard of the Base After Dark episode side of things, if you'd want to just kind of go into it and talk about the whole experience learning Blender and creating that amazing trailer. And I'm not going to have it in the podcast, unfortunately, guys, but down in the description, one of the first links will be the Speedrun Cup trailer made by Hooti Tooti. So be sure to go down there and smash that, or just, I guess, click the link once. Don't smash the link, just click it. Yeah.
You can open it on your mobile and other things, get a couple views in there. But no, that's been a very long planned thing. I think I first pitched the concept of a full cinematic trailer to EV probably, I want to say like November last year. That was as sort of Blender started coming up in RuneScape, all the thumbnails that we now see. I think I saw a tour, was it a frame or maybe a framed intro was done in Blender. I think Ingus really like sort of shout out Ingus because he's amazing at what he does. He did a lot of stuff for the Leagues series he did. And I think even just seeing that, I was like, yeah, okay, we need to make a cinematic trailer. That's always been my favorite part of the battle royales and the speedrun is just the hype that comes with a trailer and making a trailer and then just reading the comments being like, oh, this is the most hyped thing I've ever seen. Like, how do you make RuneScape look so cool? So yeah, the cinematic thing was definitely, I guess, ambitious at the time, but yeah, so that was probably late last year. And then fast forward to February, so what, like 5 months before the release of the trailer was when I actually sort of sat down, started storyboarding, like, so we've got these 9 bosses in the tournament and I want to cover them all in the trailer. So these are the shots I want to get. And the opening, well, besides the animation of the logo and stuff, the opening shot of the trailer is sort of a dude walking along the Zora docks. And that scene alone probably took me, I mean, it's probably like 4-second long scene and it took me 150 hours or so to make. But that was sort of me getting like my head around how Blender works and learning all the different tools that come with Blender. So yeah, there was a lot of Nilki is one of my good friends. She's amazing. She does a lot of stuff for the RuneScape community in terms of art and for all the content creators. But yeah, she was sort of helping me along the way, teaching me, I'd say, how does this look or how do I do this? And she'd say, you should fix the lighting because the lighting is like a big issue. But yeah, it was definitely a big learning experience that sort of also doubled up as a product to just throw out there. And yeah, very, very happy with how it turned out, I think.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about Nilki just being an absolute gem in the community.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Yeah, super humble. And she makes her own what was that whole Tomb Raider thingy that she made? It's like sort of like Tomb Raider-ish, but it was something else.
The one for Jagex?
Yeah, maybe it was for Jagex.
So Jagex got her to do some of the promotional stuff for is it Land of the Goblins?
Yeah, that was it. That was the one, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously knew who to go to. It was Nilki, she's amazing. Yeah, but yeah, she did that. Whipped it up very quick.
Yeah,
like there was no 5 months working on that one. That was she had to get that turned around pretty quick and did fucking amazing. But yeah, that's. I mean, I'm hopeful to yeah, I think I can say there's like some talks about working with Jagex in the future for some of their promotional stuff, which would be kind of cool to do.
Okay, this might. I don't know. I don't know if this is appropriate to say right now. I mean, it's not bad or anything, but like seriously, dude, with your talent, you could seriously like make. And I know it takes just hundreds of hours to make like amazing pieces of content that are over a minute long, but
Yeah.
seriously, there is a place in OSR's community that would. I mean, little 1 minute videos that are made in
Yeah.
Blender that are just insane. Like those would pop off, and you have that talent. So I'm just saying, man, like if you I don't know, like I even say like if you get better at it, but there's no even you getting better at it, you're already really fucking good at it. So like I'm just saying there, like there is an audience that loves watching those trailers. That trailer, I think, who was it? Was it Prison Joe or something on Base After Dark? They said it gave
Yeah.
them chills. Like I got the
Yeah.
chills, and I rewatched that multiple times as well, and it was just like, dude, I don't know, you got something there, and yeah. All I'm saying is there's definitely an appetite for things like that, for absolutely just masterpieces. So
Are you familiar with League of Legends cinematics that they put out?
I'm not.
Okay, so they do like sort of, I don't know if it's with, I'm not familiar with League of Legends, but I know their cinematics because I like heavily inspired by them, and I just appreciate the work they do. So that is like I mean, the difference between RuneScape like artists and these sort of things is just like one person versus a team of 30 or whatever that puts together the animation, right? But their animations are very cool, and I think that sort of style of just like, it just sort of follows a character fighting a boss or just moving around, and it's got that like storytelling element that I really appreciate. I kind of try
Mhm.
to tell a story through the animation and sort of build up and yeah, give sort of some emotional reaction to it. But I think that's the thing that kind of holds us back from really doing things. I mean, a lot of tools have come out since the sort of start of things. Shout out to Trillion. He's a brilliant guy that he created a map exporter tool, which basically just, you sort of look at the world map, find out like the ID of like a map chunk of RuneScape, and you can export it into Blender.
Oh
And so
wow.
that's like, that saves, I mean, the amount of time that would just be spent building the like environment in Blender is just hundreds of hours cut out, and an amazing amount. But I mean, I was sitting there. I don't know if you ever saw My Little Smoky, how the swamp. I was inspired by Little Smoky, but the settled how Swampletics should have ended animation, that
Uh
was sort of set in the Theater of Blood. And when I
okay.
was building that, that was like, I grabbed this wall kit here, which is like one tile. Then I grabbed this wall kit, put it next to it. Then grab this wall kit. Now I'm going to grab this railing, like corner piece here. Then I've got
Mm.
this side piece. And it is just a painstaking, long experience that has been obviously shortened immensely by Trillion's map exporter. And then you've got other things like model exporters that obviously save us the hassle of actually having to model every single RuneScape item. We can just sort of export them.
That's so
So,
cool.
so
Oh
yeah, I think
yeah.
in the future, I mean, if these tools keep getting released that just make like the sort of boring side of Blender and just sort of the process that you just sort of have to go through to build the environment, as soon as we start cutting that time out, more time can be spent being creative and setting up the lighting to look cool or just storytelling. Yeah, I think we could get somewhere where it's realistic that these sort of 1 minute trailers or whatever can just start getting pumped out by everyone.
That's so cool. I'm even
Yeah.
thinking like, dude, it's gonna get to a point. I think I have no idea, but I almost feel like it's gonna get to a point where the trailer, like, it's not even trailers anymore. Like any series that comes out, it's not even gonna be anything about gameplay anymore. It's literally the entire thing is just Blender. At that point, like I don't know.
I mean,
Sometimes the trailers are like get so hyped up that when you actually see the final product, like, damn, I just wish it was more trailer.
yeah, I think that can be an issue. I mean, there's already talks about sort of does Blender have its place in RuneScape content creation? I mean, I
Mm.
think I think that, I don't know if you ever saw on Reddit. I mean, shout out the 2007 Scape Reddit.
Big shout out. Yeah, big
Um,
shout out to
there,
them.
there was quite a big thread on there a few weeks back now that sort of was talking about, do you guys actually like these 3D blended like thumbnails? And there was a lot of talk about like, it doesn't sort of give me that OS vibe, or no, I think they're overdone, or they're too like in your face with bright colors. And I mean, it's possible that we just sort of, in like 6 months down the line, just everyone's sick of Blender and we've gone in a completely different direction with some other style, but I don't think we can predict that.
But is Blender able to, like, because I remember this discussion on the previous podcast you were on, and talking about the thumbnails exclusively. I do think that, things get overused in thumbnails, and that's just kind of what happens with anything. It's not Blender exclusive. I mean, people jump on the bandwagon of what's working, and then they just, okay, this is getting old and stale, let's switch to something else. But the Blender thumbnails definitely have been out there quite a bit, but I don't think it's necessary by any means. And I think it's, I mean, at this point, it's just kind of like boring, like everyone's seen it. And like you guys talked about, there's too much going on for a tiny thumbnail sometimes.
I mean, I think a lot of people are still learning the program. There's an Art Hub Discord with a lot of people that are being introduced to Blender. I mean, the amount of artists now, like compared to when Lil Smokey was using Blender, it was just him pretty much that I can think of. And now there's like dozens of people that are getting involved. And I think what we're seeing is just people going through the learning process of, I think you sort of have to overdo it, and then you can sort of step back and like reflect on it, think, I might need to tone it down. But I think once you get your hands on these sort of tools, you sort of do get carried away. But yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of people learning and getting better. And I think that's kind of what we're experiencing at the moment is everyone's still new to it, right? Like, I think there's progress to be made. I mean, they are making progress, but it is interesting to see where we're going to be in like a few months' time or whatever. Yeah, I mean, even I'm puzzled every time me and Evie have to organize a thumbnail for the videos or whatever. It's just like, what direction do we go in? Because you can just make a thumbnail with like a pixel item, and it's just sit in the middle, and that's powerful. And then you got the massive 3D Blender thumbnails, and it's like, is that working in the algorithm? I mean, there's been times where people have had to change away from that to just one of those more classic 2007 thumbnails, and it just performs so much better. So it is a balancing act, I guess, or maybe it's just no one's liking the Blender thumbnails. I don't know.
In my opinion, when I see a Blender thumbnail, occasionally I think, like, this is kind of a weird thought, and maybe I don't think it all the time, but when I see a Blender thumbnail and it's OSRS content, I almost think this is like too overdone. Not just the thumbnail alone, but like the content might be too overdone. Like it's too professional. Like, I don't want professional. I want like, OSRS at the core. But that's me. And then, I don't know. It's something about like, okay, I already know because this is a Blender thumbnail. There's probably a 1-minute sponsor in it, which isn't a big deal. But I can already tell that the fact that you put in this much work in the thumbnail means there's going to be a big ass like sponsorship. It's going to be kind of like really professional. It's going to be like the cookie cutter storytelling with a twist or I don't know. It's like kind of boring to me. I want to see something that's different.
I get what you mean. Yeah, for sure. That is definitely an issue. Yeah. I mean, it's either that or you get the surprise ad with someone just using a basic thumbnail anyway. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know. I don't think it's just so hard with the YouTube algorithm and sort of playing it. It's just really hard to know if like the thumbnail is the one reason that like the video might not be performing well, or if it's the title, or maybe you just didn't hit the algorithm and get onto people's feeds. And I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say, but I think more content creators, I don't know if they have been putting out polls, because I know you can do that on YouTube, right, for your subs. So I mean, even if you put one out, it'd be interesting to see, like, do you like the 3D rendered thumbnails, or do you prefer classic ones? It'd be interesting to see what the reception is.
True. Or just put up 2 different thumbnails and be like, which one would you click more?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I want to talk about you, how you got into the old school community, how you got into art, how you got into all this stuff. So I don't know if you have a certain narrative you like to follow where it comes to these kind of things, but I guess start wherever you want. How did you get to where you are right now?
So in terms of RuneScape, I've been playing for, like probably like a good 17 years or so. I want to say my account is like that old. Don't hack me from that information alone. But no, yeah, I've been playing RuneScape like forever. I mean, I was there when Old School came out, like as in the current one we played today when that
Hmm.
came out, and then yeah, I'd always just sort of, I sort of dabbled in RuneScape and in Old School, and I wasn't really involved in the Twitch side or anything. Really, I mean, I'd always watched Twitch and I'd always played RuneScape, but it never occurred to me to look up what was going on the Old School RuneScape section of Twitch. And then I somehow came across a clip of Perp. I don't know if you've ever seen the one where he PKs Max Cash and he falls off his chair. That
Yeah, I think I
like
have.
I think that was my first sort of introduction to. Well, to be fair, in terms of YouTube, I'd always watch Bodhi. I'd watch his One Man Army series back when that was being released.
Mm.
That probably was the only. I'm not a big YouTube RuneScape watcher. To be fair, like I don't know why. I just prefer the Twitch side of things. But yeah, so my involvement into Twitch uh, came through that sort of clip, and then I think that was at the time that sort of Perp, EV, Ron, and Skidler were doing one of their GIMP series. So I started watching that, and then I sort of integrated myself into Perp's community and started making friends, and then sort of started branching out, and then like started speaking to Perp like off stream, and then basically through that I met EV, and then that goes off that direction. But in terms of art, I as soon as I finished high school, I went to university for screen arts, which is like sort of the making of film. So from like cameras to audio and all that goes into the team that makes like film and stuff. And I ended up changing from that because I didn't like working in big teams and being reliant on other people. So I sort of just fell into graphic design. So I started studying graphic design and creative advertising, which I guess explains my background in the art side of things and how I got to where I am now. And I did learn so much going through my university degree. Like I wouldn't change that. But yeah, that was my art side of things, and how they sort of combined my RuneScape and art was I think I was just talking to EVscape back. So this would have been okay. I remember vividly meeting him in Discord when I was playing WoW Classic release. So when was that? 2019. Yeah. So 2019, I was just talking to EV, and then I ended up showing him some stuff I was doing at uni or something. Sort of told him that I did graphic design, and then I think he sort of just said, "You want to help me with the Battle Royale 2?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And so the Battle Royale 2 was the first big branding or art thing I did for RuneScape. And then once that got out, I mean, that's a piece of content with like 32 content creators. So, I mean, then I sort of started speaking to them, and I started speaking to Soup and helped him with Gillinor Games, which was awesome. And yeah, it just sort of started exploding from there. And I just kept doing more and more. And that's, yeah, how I've gotten to where I am today working on the Speedrun Cup too.
Yeah, and I put this in the tweet announcement, but you were also the best artist or best old school artist of 2021. So for those unaware,
The
what?
popularity vote.
Yeah, is that what it was? Is
I think it's a popularity vote. I think if you like, I mean,
well,
if you
yeah, I
push for
guess.
it, you're gonna win.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good point.
I mean, I was up against Crumb, who's got like 100,000 viewers, 100,000 subs, sorry, on like
Mm.
YouTube or whatever he has, and I think if he cared enough, I mean, I think some people sort of step down and say, I don't want to win the award because I've already won it before, or I'm just not
Oh,
interested.
okay.
So, I mean, I'm
I
sure
think
if Crumb was putting that out to his 100,000 YouTubers, he probably would have won the vote. But
it's still very
yeah,
impressive. I know you're downplaying it, but
yeah,
it is impressive, and you do. To be honest, even with the popularity contest, I mean that does take some effort to kind of put yourself out there because
yeah,
it's the same thing with anything like the best YouTuber, best streamer. I mean, the best streamer, you see it all the time. Like, I mean, SparkMac, for example, he is pushing. I mean, he's like, everyone
yeah.
vote, vote, vote. Like,
Mhm,
you gotta vote. And like, that's just
mhm.
how it goes. So, very impressive, by the way. Do you still have your Golden Gnome or did you?
Still waiting on
Never mind.
that.
Never mind.
It is funny though. I have been talking to Ben Aiza from Jagex, and he has been super helpful, and he's given me updates. There was some issues with getting the gnomes to us, which I understand.
funny.
Like they're different. So
Yeah.
so this time around they commissioned Willow. I don't know if you've heard of Willow Creative.
Mm-mm.
She does like cosplays and stuff on she posts a lot on Twitter, but actually commissioned to make gnomes for the winners. So there was some sort of legal stuff about getting them sent out to us or whatever, and they got held up a bit. But I think they're actually getting sent out like in the next month or so with tracking numbers. Unlike Ditter Bitters, whose is like probably in customs somewhere, just never reaching him. But yeah, no, I do have a bit more faith coming on to almost a year since the award. But yeah, no, I haven't got it yet. I've got a shelf for it that I'm ready to just sort of stick it on. Hopefully one day next to a Witchcrafty plushie, but make my own little RuneScape
yeah, that'd
shelf.
be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I joked about her because she won the best new artist. So I joked about making us just Golden Gnome plushies in case we never get the actual Golden Gnomes, which I would be more than happy with.
Yeah, that would be so sick.
I'll have to message her again about it. Yeah.
God damn it! I didn't mean to just totally rail on Jagex. I thought you had already received your Golden Gnome.
No, they're I mean, there's issues I get that come up with it.
Yeah.
I mean, your best bet is just going to RuneFest, I get it, and then they give it to you, hand deliver it to you, and you go on the stage and then hold on to it tight and don't let it out of your sight.
Literally.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
I really am hoping for a RuneFest very soon. Mm-hmm. I have been so desperate to go to one of those things. They seem so fun.
Yeah, I'm coincidentally sort of gonna be in the UK at some point next year, so I think I hope there's a RuneFest, and I hope it's around the time that I'm in the UK next year, because that would be awesome to just end up there. I mean, fuck the event. It's just, I guess, they're hanging out with all the people you speak to online.
Yeah.
And stuff like all the friends you've made, like that is like what I'm looking forward to the most, for sure.
Yeah. By the way, I recall listening, and I'm going to probably just say that a lot of the things that I've already heard about Hooti Tooti were on the Base After Dark podcast. So if I ever refer to that, just understand that that's one I watched. So that's most of the stuff I know about Hooti Tooti was from that podcast. But I want to ask about your Twitch career, because apparently you became affiliate just real quickly to get some emotes, and now it's all about, we got to push you to get partners so that you can change your name on Twitch to Hoodie.
I guess I know enough. Like, I've got so many connections and so many friends that are streamers, so that I was always going to get rated by one of them or whatever, and get what is it? Is it 7 average views, or is it less average views? You got to keep up for a week or something.
Oh, it's 3. Oh, it's
3. It's 3. Okay, right. So I think I averaged like 70 with raids from friends for over the 7 streams. Damn. And I was like, okay, cool. I've got emotes now. But to be honest, I do kind of hate the waiting period of uploading emotes as an affiliate, not having the instant like approval of emotes. That annoys me. But yeah, I just wanted my own stupid emotes, and they are very stupid, to be fair. I think it's the same with a lot of artists. Is I have all the time in the world for making graphics and overlays and alerts for other streamers and stuff, but I don't think I could ever sit down and just make them for myself. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm not getting paid or just I don't know. I just mental block making my own overlays. I mean, Mofo does both. He's been going nuclear on his stuff that he's been posting about in terms of like just stream sort of assets and stuff. But yeah, that was my career on Twitch, was the 7 or so streams to get affiliate, and then the joking stream I did when the servers went down one day, and I said 24-hour stream playing RuneScape, and it was just me in bed because the servers were down for like 7 hours or whatever, and I was just sleeping, like, waiting for the servers to come up. But oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of streaming, and it is sort of appealing to me in the sense that, like, I like chatting with people and just sort of being entertaining and whatever. But I just I don't know. I guess there's that thought that most streamers think about, is like, what content would I stream? Would it be interesting? Will people want to watch? And I think I'm stuck on that part. But
yeah, streaming is exhausting in a way as well, because there's something like what is it? you expect something as a streamer. Like it's you when you become a streamer, you have these thoughts in your head like, okay, this is gonna be fucking awesome. I'm gonna have like a bunch of viewers that's constantly chatting to me, and like this is my thing that I'm gonna stream and stuff. Like that's what I used to think when I first started streaming. I used to think of like all the best parts of streaming, and I'm like, this is gonna be just fucking awesome. And then you start streaming, and who knows, maybe you do have a good start where you're pulling like already 10, 20, 30 viewers or even more than that. But then you might see a dip, and that's where like the mental part of it comes in that you don't really prepare for. At least I don't, and a lot of creators that I've talked to don't prepare for like these dips or plateaus where you're just like, damn, I was kind of like, the idea of being a streamer is fun and all with the expectation that you're going to grow. And if you don't see that growth that you expect immediately, it's really demotivating, and it kind of like burns you out. And I think part of it is kind of like if you do it expecting maybe monetary, you know, just being able to be like financially secure in streaming, which doesn't happen for years most of the time. But yeah, it can be kind of a journey streaming, and but I don't know. I think you'd be a great streamer if you, I don't know, you just seem like a chill. You're Aussie, right?
Yo.
I can never tell like the Kiwis and Aussies.
Yeah.
Is there a way to like be able to tell you guys apart just based off accent?
I mean, it's similar to like Canadians and Americans. I mean, I think I'm getting better at it, but very rarely can I tell if someone's like, from my perspective on my side of the world, I can barely tell if someone's Canadian or not. Where I'm assuming you are like,
yeah, we can kind of
easy
tell.
for you.
Not super.
I mean, unless
easy.
It's obvious, like if they've got that like, yeah, like
if they
crazy
say
Canadian accent, yeah, or say bud, that's another teller. But yeah, I think it's just something I've gotten used to. I don't know if I have any top 10 tips telling the difference apart. But going back to the streaming thing, did you experience the sort of post partner viewer decline that a lot of people experience?
I'll be honest, I didn't really ever do a partner push. So when I first started streaming, it was January 2019, and I got partnered August 2020. So it'd been a year and a half, and there was like a few months before that, I was kind of already pushing the 75, like, but not quite. It was always like 68 or 73. God forbid I say 73, but I do remember that number being up there for a couple months, just always constantly at like 73. I'm like, Jesus, I just can't get past this threshold. But I never really pushed. So when I actually got partner, it definitely was like, okay, I was pretty much maintaining above 75, even 80-ish.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, you kind of see that dip. But the cool thing is you get to stop caring.
Yeah, you definitely do, yeah.
Because like even nowadays, people come in and be like, oh, hey, I'm going to leave, but I'll have your stream up. And I'm like, dude, like, go have the stream up somewhere else. Like I really don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care if somebody leaves my stream at all anymore. I used to kind of care back when I was trying to push for 75, but nowadays I'm like, dude, go help somebody that's trying for partner. Because
it's a pretty cool sentiment from the people to be thinking of like your viewership and that, and offering that sort of thing for you. But it's at the end of the day, I guess it doesn't do a whole lot for you as an already partnered streamer.
Yeah. No, but that stress goes away, which is really nice. You already have the badge, which is fucking awesome initially. It's like anything. It's like getting your Infernal Cape. The next week after getting your Infernal Cape or getting a Zug helmet or whatever it is, getting a Fire Cape even, it's like you feel like a total badass, and then it's like, oh, well, this is just normal now. Like, I don't know. So it's not really that big of a game changer when people like are really pushing for Twitch. I've seen it occasionally where a streamer will push for partner, and then they'll get partnered, and then it's just like this burnout. Like they expected something a lot bigger, but it's literally the exact same thing. You just have a badge next to you. So you can see how it would be very demoralizing as a streamer. Sort of like, I mean, I guess as you become a partner, that's probably coincides with the time that you might be thinking of becoming full time. Right? Yeah. Like it might be like a partner is maybe you're getting enough viewers and subs or whatever to have that as a possibility for you, and then seeing that decline just as you sort of have been given that sort of reassurance that you're doing well and you're making it. You've got that tick, like you're a streamer now, and then
that post viewer decline after the push must be it must be hard, and I feel for the streamers that have had to experience that, because that must be an awful thing. But
it's hard to say, and I don't say this to be like maybe rude or to some people that have gone for a partner push, but partner pushes kind of inevitably lead to that. I feel like when you're artificially inflating your numbers, kind of, and
like
it might
you're almost like burning out your viewers.
Yeah. It's way better to just do it organically. The fact that you were able to get from 5 viewers to 30, and then from 30 to 70, and now you're trying to artificially push to like 75 and get that. It's like, dude, it'll happen. People are flocking to you. I mean, you just got to understand stuff takes time. Exposure takes time. You got to be consistent, and there will be dips and ebbs and flows. And
probably better to just focus on you as a streamer and how you can improve the experience for the viewers and stuff. I think that's definitely where, I mean, it is hard, but I think that's a good place to focus your energy and attention. But anyway.
Yeah. So here we got a topic that I want to cover by Toucan. And he asks, does Jagex do enough to support content creators? What more should they do? And then he also asks, when I come visit, will we share a bed, or is there a spider?
No, I think he just contracted COVID, so he's not allowed in my house. He can stay there.
You can sleep in the doghouse outside.
Yeah. Do they do enough? I guess there's like a lot of different sort of aspects you can consider when you think of like that. I mean, when we do the Battle Royale, they offer us the world. We have a private world that's like got a whitelist for all the content creators to play on, and they will like update some of the like sort of game mechanics that sort of fit in line more. Like the fog, for example, they added fog for us to push everyone in. But besides that, I don't think they've ever really thrown anything together for content creators. I mean, I've spoken to EV about like just the possibility of there being a sort of like content creator world sort of that's like 4 events, and maybe you can book it out like you can pitch towards Jagex like, oh, I don't know, I've got this idea for an event and I'd like to get the world for these dates, and these are the sort of, I mean, if they had like templates for like the world and said like, oh, I want like a sort of Dead Man style world, and then them going, yeah, cool, just give us the whitelist and we'll add it. I mean, that would be I say that would be an easy thing for them, because obviously we never know how much actual effort and, engine work and stuff. But I think that would be like such a good step into sort of offering the minimum for content creators, but getting the most out of it. Like that would be awesome. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, what can they offer us that, I mean, they don't. I don't. It's a hard topic.
At least what Eevescape kind of brought up on the Base After Dark podcast was just like, there's just not enough. It's like they just don't care enough. Like Eevescape said he'd be in a conversation, they'd meet back up 2 weeks later, and then they just repeat the same thing. It's like something's got to get done.
I think that's an issue at Jagex, is the chain of like communication of like one point. Like we have our contact point, and then they have to go talk to their boss, who has to talk to their boss, and things just get lost. And then it seems like each JMod has got like certain delegations that they've been given that, like, for some reason, you have to be in charge of like awarding or sending out the awards for the league's top 3 total levels, and then someone other JMod has got to worry about this as well. And I think things just sort of get lost in the pipeline. And I think that's from my perspective, that's like one of the issues that sort of stops like that quick like back and forth getting things done type of thing. Like we can't go to a JMod who can like sit down and just go, okay, I'll do that tonight. Like I'll do that, or I'll do that today at work. Like that's just not a thing. So I think things get lost. I mean, as simple as like, I think it's amazing that they don't retweet like stuff. Like if Evie, like I don't know if like, okay, for context for the rest of the stream, Jake is Eevescape, because I feel like you sort of like have to be aware of that people might not know who Jake is. But yeah, so Jake, we sort of like, when we put out the Battle Royale and we've gone live with it, like, would it be so bad for Jagex to retweet that? I mean, we're advertising their game for them, putting on a massive event. And I guess, they've got their worries about, he's going to say, he's going to say something like, we don't endorse, or we don't like, we don't affiliate with that sort of thought or whatever, or like he pulls out his Glock as he famously does. Like maybe they don't want that to be associated with them, but like at the end of the day, like we're doing like,
for those that don't know, Glock is a gun, right?
Yeah. That's what he refers to.
Sorry,
it. Yeah,
I just had to put that out there because somebody's thinking it's something else. All right.
Yeah, just gets his Glock out. But no, like it's just like we've thrown together this tournament, like advertising your game, or even like Soups, like Gillenor Games. Like we've put together this series. Just retweet the first episode, or just say like a quote tweet, like check out this new series, or I mean, I guess asking for those in-game announcements.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke about that potentially being a thing, which I mean, you see the Q&As when they're live on Twitch and they're sitting on like 200 viewers, the notification goes out in game. People can just
5,000.
click that. And now, I mean, that would be powerful. And I kind of get maybe that they don't want to offer that, but like the retweets on Twitter, like they're already kind of engaging with some stuff, and they put out like the artist showcase things where they showcase like artwork. And I guess that is like just a link that's already like they know that image is safe or whatever at that point. But I mean, come on, man, just retweets would go a long way to just sort of promote content creators. I think that's another thing that they should be providing more of.
I was just thinking, they have a tab right next to the friends list in game. It's just called community. And it's like, dude, how cool would it be if they just had another tab where, okay, yeah, there would probably have to be a lot of communication between the creators and Jagex, just saying like, hey, if we're gonna like put your link up here in this page, like you have to follow certain rules, obviously, because again, they don't want to be promoting things that they're not comfortable with. But imagine they just had like a little community tab that shows big events that are happening in the community, like, hey, speedrun events coming up this date, and it's just very clear what's going on kind of in the community. I think that would be really cool. And then they could have those in-game announcements if like you're gonna do what Jagex says and like not pull out a gun.
See, the issue with that is it just makes too much sense to do something like that. I mean, there is like I'm pretty sure there's a JMod whose job is literally communicating with content creators. I mean, that's like maybe not his full job, but that is part of his job. So I mean, I'm sure he's got the time to do it. So I can't see why they couldn't do this. So come on, step up your game.
That would be awesome. And then people might be thinking, oh well, now like everyone's just gonna self-promote their own shit up there. But no, if there's like big community events where you're gathering the community, I think that's something that everybody would be totally cool with, instead of it just being like, hey, Bodhi just went live, here you go, like here's a link to Bodhi's stream, he just went live. It's just like, okay, maybe community events would be appropriate.
Like PvP tournaments hosted by people, or like
getting the community together.
Does. Yeah, I think for sure. I can't see like I'm hopeful that down the line that it just needs to become a thing at some certain point, and then we've got it. And I think that could happen tomorrow. It could happen 3 years from now. It's hard to say, but I think that is I think more integration between the community and the game. I mean, people always complain that sort of RuneScape has become this like Iron Man mode where you just don't talk to other people. Like I'm gonna go fish at the pond and I'm turning my public off because those people are annoying, or at Wintertot or whatever. I'm basically just not going to communicate with people. And a lot of people do miss that like social aspect, right? Of just being able to, I'm going to go chop bloody maple logs at Sears and there's going to be 3 other people there type of thing. I mean, I think people do enjoy the community side of the game. And they think it's kind of stupid they don't promote it more, but yeah.
Okay. Here's a topic, and I guess we're kind of going back to it, but Brett Dog asks, you've wanted to do that cool trailer for a while. I was pretty stoked to see that you finished it, and it came out really well. Were there any parts of the trailer that gave you a lot of trouble, or was it a pretty smooth process from start to finish?
That's a very good question. I think going back to that sort of that topic of thumbnails being overdone with the lighting and stuff, I think that was something I was consciously aware of, that like I don't want it to be overdone, and I want it to still feel old schooly, if that makes sense. And that was something I was conscious of the entire way through. But past that, in terms of just the getting sort of effects out there, Yeah, the Zora thing took a very long time. Just like because I mean, what's gone into that scene is there's fog that I had to figure out how to do, the sort of water effect, and then there's like the raining particles. There's a lot of elements of Blender that I had to learn specifically for that scene. I mean, each scene pretty much is me just doing something new that I've had to spend 2 hours or so watching YouTube videos on how to get an effect and then making it work. I mean, just looking through it now, there's like particles that I had to do. Um, there's like camera movement along paths that I sort of spent a long time messing around with, and glows. And yeah, I think just overall learning the Blender software and getting more comfortable with it was like the biggest. I think that was the thing that slowed me down the most, but obviously it needs to be done.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I think it went relatively smoothly. Just it went slowly. uh,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, you had mentioned like the first 150 hours are spent on the first 4 seconds
mhm.
of it, but then it got a lot more streamlined, I believe, as it
I
went on.
mean, the like I was spending a good 16 hours sometimes a day on the trailer, and I don't think I ever did more than two scenes in one day. So like maybe I did the dude walking, the camera shot through Tazar showing the dude at the fight caves in the Inferno, and then I did the next scene. Maybe I can't remember what it is, but it's just the dude walking through Pryphanis, and that was what I'd accomplished in 16 hours, which is like 8 seconds maybe to 10 seconds of footage. But
It's
like, yeah,
it's so worth it though for the audience. It's so amazing. But
yeah.
let me ask you this. This is a kind of a weird question. Did you enjoy it? Because the fact that you're putting in 16 hours, I mean, there's got to be something said for that. You must be just in the zone with it. I don't know. Or were
It's
you
the
just
same
like,
with
"Damn, this sucks."
the in terms of the entire tournament in general. I'm just it's something that I know I'm going to be able to have completed and look back on and just say, damn, I ran that like entire tournament, like I
Yeah.
made that. And it's something that's always going to be out there. And I think that's like a big thing for this
Mm,
trailer and for the tournament, yeah, in general, is that I put that trailer out there and it's cool. And I always love reading the replies and people saying that's hype. That's like my favorite reply I can get, because that's like the one thing that I think you just never see people talking about RuneScape being hype or being so exciting or giving you chills. Like that's just not a common thing that you get in RuneScape, and being able to do that is like a, yeah, it's a good feeling knowing that I'm sort of bringing that reaction to people. But yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Okay. Here's some good topics from New Nels. She asks three different things. So I'll just list them all and then we can talk about them.
Mhm.
What does a typical workday consist of for Hootie when working on project? Don't leave out all the raunchy details. I guess there's raunchy details. What is your favorite, least favorite project to work on? Any that stick out in particular? And any non OSRS related projects, companies you'd like to work on /for?
Okay. Yeah, those are very good questions. That, yeah. A typical work day consists, I mean, in terms of like when I'm not doing IRL work, which I just do graphic design stuff for just like local companies and that, which is like I mean, mostly boring compared to RuneScape, but there's the occasional exciting thing. But workday in terms of just RuneScape art is just typically it's me pissing around in game, whether it's, I mean, back when so the thing is, we used to use dev builds of RuneLite to get IDs of stuff, and now I'm terrified of logging into a dev build of
It's
RuneLite
true.
because of the whole client nuke,
Yeah.
which is like another whole thing that sort of uh, maybe hinders us, but it's too early to tell whether
Yeah.
that's like a thing that I'm missing. But yeah, so it would have been usually just fucking around, walking around Top Bank, grabbing IDs of NPCs or like bank boots and stuff like that, and then it's probably getting distracted in RuneScape. Always a Twitch stream up on the side. I have to add. There's always I'm always
Who?
watching someone.
Who? If
Okay.
there were three just random people, who would be up there?
Probably so I'm a big serial bouncer around of chats. I say hello, leave 5 minutes. But the people
Yeah.
that keep my attention the most,
Yeah.
probably Swang KBK.
Hell yeah.
He's just a hilarious dude and probably like one of the most entertaining streamers. Probably, you know what? I'm gonna say he's the most entertaining streamer for me personally on Twitch. So I can sit in his chat all day and just talk shit with the other homies in there. Um, Skidler is another one
Oh
that
yeah.
I love watching. Um, See, the thing is, normally I'm not a big fan of the big like 500 plus viewer streams. I like being able to have that close little like conversations
Yeah.
with the streamer and the people in the chat. Like it's a nice little conversation, or I feel like that kind of gets lost as the chat gets more flooded. Well, not to say that I don't enjoy them, like I can still watch them every now and then. But yeah, if I've got a stream up and I'm chilling doing work, it's something like a swang stream or Sinferno if she's live. I guess I got to watch her, the homie.
Yeah.
Lane's another homie. Shout out.
I gotta. You had mentioned Skidler. I just gotta give a shout out to Skidler because if I ever pop in there, like he knows I popped in there. Like if I say a message, if I just chat something, like he will see it, which is really. I mean, maybe it's the partner badge or something that's a little bit more visible. I don't want to just say it's there, but no, he will welcome you to the stream. It's nice, and he is one of those people that pulls 500 plus.
Yeah, he does like such an amazing job, and I guess it's just who he is as a person. But the relationships he builds with like each and every person, you feel so welcome in his chat. Like, I mean, he sees every single Twitch name and knows every single person's name, and he will like Swagman47 will come in and he'll go, oh yo, I don't know, Greg, what's up? Like he just knows everyone. Like, and it's amazing that he has that sort of like I guess it's like he's committing that much brain power and like he cares enough to sort of like be that interactive and like, he's not seeing people as just chatters, right? Like he's seeing them as like a person that's come to hang out with him. And I think he does that way better than anyone else. I mean, I don't even think that's a skill you can learn. I mean, I think that's just him as a person, but like, there will be hundreds of people he just knows from like their Twitch name who they are, and he will go, "Oh, you still like up in London?" Or you know what I mean? Like everyone, like he'll
know something about them. I wonder though, like let's just imagine Skidler instead of 500 viewers, let's just pull that number out. Let's just say he got to 5,000. Like where at what point? Because I still feel like he has that sort of tight knit community, sort of. Like as much as you can have with 500 people concurrently watching you, but then like what happens at 5,000? Because like I don't know, you see that shift. I feel like with streamers that get really big, and it's like, damn, you really can't have it all. You can't still be that really personable person because you got to hold on a stream. It's the same thing with people resubbing. I mean, I remember watching Shroud back in the PUBG days, and it's like, dude. You can't even say subs anymore. I mean, he's getting too many subs to even say their name.
Yes, it would just be constantly reading a roll call of people at that point. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I don't think you can, and it will just be picking messages from the chat because I mean, like physically and like you just can't. The messages are coming in faster than you can read them, so it will just end up people like repeating themselves. There is a joke that we do in Skiller's chat where obviously like if he's like at Olm or he's concentrating, you sort of repeat your message and then in brackets do a 2 and then like in brackets do a 3 if he misses it again, and it really annoys him. And that's just like, I mean, we take the piss out of that, but that's like can be an issue obviously depending on what content you're doing and what you're streaming, but. Yeah, I think your messages just get lost at that point, which I think it's a blessing and a curse, I guess, depending on how you see it as the streamer. Like, you're successful, you're obviously doing things right, but at the same time, if that's something you enjoy and you appreciate the close-knit relationship you have with the viewers, then that probably gets a bit washed out at that point.
Yeah, I think it all just comes in like phases. At least for me, I haven't gotten to like the stage of 500 plus, but I'll pull 200 viewers occasionally, and I will miss messages. It's just like, damn, this used to never be a problem, but now I think people just understand when messages maybe go too fast and there's like actual like multiple conversations going on at once. It's really hard to keep up, and people just understand. But I still have that guilt of like not reading every single message. It's like, damn it, I just can't.
That's why people need the VIP or mod badge. Get your chat read better. I mean, some people just say that they don't even look for that, or the sub badge. That's a joke. Oh, I'm not reading my messages because I don't have a sub badge type of thing. But I mean, it is just hard.
We've even talked on my stream. There's certain name colors and there's certain badges and stuff that are just really easily ignorable. I don't know what.
I think it's like if you're in dark mode, like a darker blue or green, you
Yep.
just lose it.
You just don't even
Or
look.
a purple.
It's not sticking out. And then you know what's even
No.
worse is when people at you. So there will be a person with
Yeah.
a dark forest green name that's just so
Mhm.
like you don't even see it. And then they'll at you, so it almost looks like they're a bot. Because whenever a bot does anything, they have a bracket around them, like their whole message,
Yeah.
and then they will have a bracket. So I just skip it. I'm like, dude, I'm not reading
It's
that.
just a bot saying what it normally does. Oh,
Yeah.
follow me on YouTube or whatever. Subscribe on YouTube type thing. Yeah, no,
You
that's
know,
funny.
those eye trackers that you've seen certain streamers
Yeah,
use? I would love to have one of those and have the chat up on my
that's
stream as well.
hilarious.
And just
Yeah, that's
see where my eyes drift to, because like seriously, there's names I just skip. I just skip them.
it's like the person that you're not a fan of comes in and you look at their message and you
Just
obviously
don't
have
say
read it, but you just don't acknowledge it.
That would actually be such a fun stream to just see a live
Yeah.
chat and the
Oh,
eye tracker just seeing what
how
who's saying
is that
stuff.
expensive to set up that eye tracker
I don't
stuff?
know. I kind of want to get one now. I'm like,
I think
getting excited.
I think it is hilarious. But anyway, back to Nunu's questions.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, the workday is just a Twitch on one monitor. I'm a 3 monitor Andy, so
Ooh.
Twitch
So
stream.
sorry,
Mhm.
I gotta interrupt again. I'm a 2 monitor Andy. Is
Mhm.
3 worth it compared to 2?
I guess it's for like the editing stuff, right? Like, so it lets me have like my Twitch or YouTube or whatever entertainment I have on one monitor, and then I've got in my middle monitor obviously my program I'm working on, and then I'll have either folders on the right that I'm uh like constantly grabbing like pictures or whatever from that I'm adding to my project, or like reference art or something on the side as well. So, I mean, that's what I mostly use my 3 monitors for. Or Discord. I have Discord on the right. So,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, often I am in Discord a lot of the time. If people are around and I'm just doing work and it's chill, I'll join a call, talk for a bit, start doing something where I kind of want to concentrate and just deafen. And I'll be deafening calls for hours. But yeah,
That's cool.
that's another part of it. But yeah, that's just, I guess it's nothing exciting. That's kind of my work day. Favorite, least favorite project to work on. I mean, my favorite projects have to be the EVscape stuff we do, the tournaments. The battle royales have been always such a pleasure and enjoyable experience to work on. I mean, it's just a lot of time spent just chatting with Jake behind the scenes. We get to hang out so much during those events, and Mason as well. Shout out Mason from Crusader Talent and that whole team. I love just talking to them and getting to work with them for these sort of events is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, the favorite events is just the big. Or my favorite projects are the big events. Least favorite projects, I'm gonna say thumbnails and sort of that sort of stuff and like emotes, because I feel there's so many artists that can do those things, and I would rather that they sort of get to do it. I don't know. I feel like some people that like that's what they do, right? They do thumbnails and that's cool. Like they obviously enjoy it, but I mean, going back to what I was saying before, the storytelling and stuff is just something I really enjoy, and that's something I can do
Yeah.
through like branding or the events we do, or like through Gillinor Games. That's another really big project that I'm going to be working on again this year. Gillinor Games 3. Soups reached out to me months ago saying you want to do stuff again for that, which is that's a big privilege to work on. But I love the big events and branding. That's a big thing for me. And then continuing the same point to any non OSRS related projects. I have always been fascinated by music festival branding. I mean, there is so much that goes into it, from the stage design to just the branding in general, like logos, and then you've got thousands of feet of signage that is around the festival, or like the tickets and the wristbands and the lanyards. I've always been a big fan of music festivals, that sort of stuff, and I mean I would love to one day work on music festivals. I don't know why that's a one specific thing, but that's something I've always thought about.
Yeah. That would be dope. So you're kind of
Mhm.
like my older brother in a way. He's a creative director. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
leak where he works, but
Yeah.
he loves the story, and he loves like thematics and like he loves being ahead of like a big project that's
Yeah.
all kind of together. It's all collaborating nicely. So.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff for me.
Yeah, not just standalone little projects that you don't even get to finish, or just like little snippets.
Just, I mean, it is like probably more often than not, probably the best money is just banging out thumbnails for content creators. But I mean, I don't even know if with the amount of artists that exist now, they're pretty spread out, covering all the content creators. So I don't even know if that's like a sustainable thing. I mean, unless you're like Hexo, he does really brilliant thumbnails. Going back to the Blender thing, he has stepped away. He still does Blender stuff, but he's been doing a lot more of the like photoshopping up, like just a RuneScape screenshot and taking different elements. And I think he does a really good balance of that. And then you've got, I don't want to get the names wrong. Let me search who I think, what's his name? Is it? Oh no. Is it 8sat? Yeah, 8sat.
Okay.
8sat does the thumbnails for Settled and Framed and Jimmy and stuff, and he does a brilliant job. So I mean, I think they're kind of running the thumbnail scene of things. So I'll let them be as they are doing that. But yeah, I guess, I just don't enjoy it as much because I guess you can tell a story in a thumbnail, but it's not sort of as engaging as the longer videos.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is one I would. I'm down for this as well. Champions Cape asks, how much of a GoFundMe would be required for Hootie to make a RuneScape feature-length film? So we're talking 2 hours of Blender. Let's say it's YouTube. Let's say it's, you know what? Let's be a little bit more chill on this. Okay. Let's say 40 minutes of just pure raw dopamine, just Blender perfection. Like,
realistically, I'm going to need like 70 grand to even think about that.
Let's do it, boys. Like we're starting it. I was expecting to mill 70 grand. That's cheap. We'll get that.
I mean, that is just the process. Like, you have to have a team for that. There's no way, like a solo. It took me 4 or 5 months to finish 2 minutes of footage. Like, what? It's going to take me like 10 years to do that. So yeah, I mean, you'd have to have a solid team. If I had but even then, just the logistics of working with people that aren't nearby. I mean, I've been speaking to Guns Chili a lot about. We always joke about doing a collab thing, but that I would love to do something with him. But yeah, I think a good little team would be necessary. And then, I mean, imagine that, like a trailer comes out for a short film that Ingus, Lil Smokey, Guns Chili, Nilky, Hootie, and others are all putting together. I mean, that would probably break the Twitter for the day or the week. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's my answer to that. 70 grand and I need a team. All right. I don't mind if not all the 70 grand goes to me at that point.
Now 70 grand for each of you.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
We'll get it set up. Now, let's see. We already covered this briefly, but if there's anything more, I just got to give a shout out to Lane. She was also a Sae Bae Cast alumnus. So she asks, how and when did you, Hootie, get involved in the OSRS community?
It was mostly through the perp thing. It was talking to the other sort of chatters, the common chatters there, and then you sort of branch out, and then and you just keep meeting more people. Like at this point, I'd like to think I'm friendly with a lot of people. I mean, there's so many like amazing people in the community that I get to hang out with, and I feel like you just keep like I'll hang out with a group of people, and then somehow get sort of invited to another Discord. I mean, Discord is like a massive way of communicating with like new people for me, at least. Like, you just get invited to a new Discord, and then there's all these new people that you meet. But yeah, I think mostly Discord is huge for making friends. But I'd say that's pretty much it.
Okay. Grax asks, do you believe in talent? How does it feel to be the leader of FOH or FO?
Oh no, this is a bit awkward. I'm no longer in FOH.
Oh god.
I always joked when I was in FOH that it stood for Friends of Hootie, so I'm guessing that's what it means. But how does it feel to be the leader of FOH?
Oh my god.
No longer in FOH. Sadly, I left the clan.
You were kicked out, right? No.
Well, no, I just wanted to trial in another
Yeah,
clan, and then I sort of
fair.
fell into that. So, yeah.
I've seen a lot of people in FOH. I'm clanless right now, but
Mm-hmm.
they always did seem to be a lot more of like a friendly little circle,
Yeah.
just like very focused on the social aspect of stuff and just
Yeah. I
having
mean,
fun.
yeah, they do a lot of they focus a lot on community events
Hmm.
that like people host within it. And yeah, they are very friendly, but I just felt I had a lot more friends in Obliv, so I just sort of ended up over there.
Yeah,
But do you believe in talent, as in like a natural born talent or sort of a learnt talent?
he's
Because
definitely here to answer that now.
because like, do you believe in natural talent? You see, I don't know. I see people drawing like a lot of the art, even for like RuneScape and elsewhere. Dude, some people are just so fucking talented at drawing, and that's
Yeah.
that's a talent I do not have. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely notice some people are quicker at learning than others, and I don't know if that comes down to talent or just a better eye for detail. But I definitely think. I mean, if you talk, what's the thing like the Rushmore, your Mount Rushmore of like OSRS artists? I would say it's my top four is Nilky, Lil Smokey, Guns Chili, and Ingus, and I think they are like the most talented artists that we have. I mean, obviously there are others that are still very talented, but they're just like the four that I think
See,
are yeah.
now I'm imagining their faces carved into a mountain. So when are you gonna
I
make
mean,
that? Are you gonna make
I
that?
mean, I'll talk to Legend Arts can do that. That's a Legend
Yeah.
Arts thing. It feels,
So
but yeah, I mean that's another talented, incredibly talented person. But yeah,
yeah, no, for real. But by the way, where? Okay, I don't want to give credit where it's not due, but who came out with the faces of the Giga Chad? You know, like those
oh my lord,
it wasn't Legends art, right? It just happens to be Legend Art's profile picture, the Giga Chad face.
yeah, I guess so. I
Who made
guess
that then?
yeah.
Because I always thought it was actually Legend Arts that made
Oh
it, but I'm
no, I
like,
don't think
that's a
so. That's a
really
good.
massive.
That's a question that it's probably lost unless it. I mean, was it just like a was it like an actual
I don't even know.
experiment done by someone?
I literally don't know the history
Jeez, the law.
behind the Giga Chad face. But like, who the hell made that? Because it's clearly not
Apparently,
a real person. The dude's
Ernest.
jawline is like godlike.
Apparently, it was just some art project in Berlin, like
Interesting.
60
Okay.
years ago. I guess it's like the. It's like
Wow.
the. Was it? Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Oh, is it? Maybe it's not. Well, it's based off. I don't look. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess
Yeah,
it's
just a
like the
random
ultimate features of like
the
yeah,
perfect
what would be the
male
biggest
specimen.
Chad? Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. I don't think Legend did that. No.
So this is a little thing I wanted to add simply because I'm talking to an artist myself, but it's I hired Killer Fishy 24 who's made a bunch of art. It's normally just pictures and he'll get commissions from
Hmm.
people that want to draw their RuneScape characters and stuff. But I hired Killer Fishy 24 to make the Sae Bae cast display, and he manually drew like 50 people's faces and put it all into this
Oh
thing.
wow.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, yeah, that was
so
awesome.
he made that, and now I'm considering, and of course I've not been able to put it on display yet because a
No.
long story. Anyway, I'll go into that later if you even care.
Yeah.
But basically, I haven't gotten it up on display, but I want to sell it on display because I think display it's a great
Hmm.
fucking place to sell your art, and I think it's really like standardized. So if you ever come out with future art, it's really good to just have it all on display rather than some like budget site.
Yeah.
Um, Anyway, so I haven't been able to sell on there yet because I'm not a registered artist on there to like start selling stuff. But
Yeah.
I was considering because one of my visions is to have like a new year of Sae Bae cast displayed, every year at like
Yeah.
the end
Yeah.
and just have all the guests' faces drawn. And I was considering, I was like, I could just have Killer Fishy do every year, or I could hire a different artist and get like different artists
Oh.
involved and have a different kind of like theme to it or something.
Yeah,
And
that could be interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
whenever Legends Art's brought up, I'm like, ooh,
Oh,
that would be kind of
jeez.
cool to get him
Yeah, that would be sick.
to do it.
Yeah,
But
he's they're both. I mean, the composition of that image is brilliant, and that's another thing that Legend Arts is quite good at. I mean, he
yeah,
did the display for Settled, right? Of like the
mm-hmm,
top bosses.
yep,
That is just yeah,
yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, that would be. Yeah,
Yeah.
surely. All right,
Uh,
Legend Arts, if you're listening to this, message Sada, get this going.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something I've been looking for. I just really need to get my stuff on display, but it's really hard when you have one piece
Hmm.
of thing you're going to sell and you're not even an
Right.
artist yourself. You just commissioned it. So it's like,
Is
it's
that where?
impossible.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a
Yeah.
little like side story for later, but let's check. I was looking at one topic in particular. Okay, this is a kind of random one, but I want to hear your thoughts on it anyway.
Hmm.
Brawling asks, would you rather fight one elephant-sized rat or 1,000 rat-sized elephants? And then he also asks, is it true your purpose is to find sad woman and give them an... Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. And we'll just cover the first one. How about that?
Yeah.
I did not... Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's Brawling being Brawling. One of
Just
the
answer the first one.
homies. Would you rather fight one elephant-sized rat or 1,000 rats? Um, Jeez, I have a lot of I have friends that are just rats. So I mean, I like the idea of just fighting all of them, but none of them are elephant-sized. I think 1,000. Oh, I don't know.
Dude, 1,000 rat-sized elephants is definitely the answer. Like,
I think, yeah, I don't know what challenge they're gonna.
can you imagine a rat that is the size of an
Oh,
elephant?
I
Fuck
didn't
that,
even think
dude.
of that. Yeah, no, I don't think that's a smart choice at all. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going with the 1,000 rat-sized elephants. I don't know what they're.
Yeah.
Elephants like a aggressive animal.
I don't think
Doesn't
so.
feel like
No,
that.
they're
I mean,
chill.
I don't think rats are either. Or
I
maybe they
mean,
are.
that
I think
rat.
rats are definitely.
I'm just thinking of Princess Bride, that fucking
Yeah.
rat from the little
Okay.
swamp
Yeah.
place. Fuck that. Gotta
I
light him
think a
on fire.
thousand rats. Yeah. I think the choice has been made. Yeah. 1,000 rat-sized elephants.
Right. Uh. Okay, so here's a question from Second Base. He asks, "What software do you most commonly use for editing? How does all of it? How does all of it cost you?"
Um. So most of my time, probably up until I really got into Blender, so much of my time has been spent in Adobe After Effects, and that's like the making the trailers or making transitions on streams and or like just looping footage. That's After Effects is just like my bread and butter. That's where I've spent like most of my time for sure. So in terms so running through like the Speedrun Cup, so the second and third trailer we put out for the Speedrun Cup, which probably hasn't had the same views as the other, but that was all done in After Effects. The webcam overlays and stuff you're going to see, the looping footage is done in After Effects. And then Photoshop I use Photoshop for, I guess I use it for mocking up other stuff, sort of playing around. I don't really, well, I guess I use Photoshop for a lot of the end cards. So basically, when a boss has finished being run, it sort of transitions to like a card that shows like the scores so far in the series and stuff like that. So that's all done in Photoshop. Adobe Illustrator I use for making logos. So the 8 team logos. Well, I made 6 of them, and then I got Chelsea Grin, shout out, to do the Crocs Under Mushroom or Cum logo, and Hayo did the BDSM logo. I know the team names are very strange this year.
I was like, did I mishear that?
Yeah, Crocs Under Mushrooms. Yeah, so and BDSM, which I can't remember what that stands for. Savant something males or something. I don't know. Addy,
Okay.
that's an Addy thing. Addy. See, the last year they were Cthulhu Box Theory, which was Team CBT. So I mean, for people who know what CBT stands for, that's the running joke that they're sort of going along with now. But yeah, so logos done in Illustrator. In terms of editing the actual footage of the runs and splicing that together and having the scoreboard overlay that has the timing splits on the right side that you're going to see, and the scoreboard with like how many maps or bosses, sorry, that each team has won. That's all done in Adobe Premiere Pro. And then yeah, Blender is where I did the animation for the trailer. And yeah, you see, it's just me bouncing between programs at this point. Yeah, Trillion, which obviously goes with the Blender thing and exporting things. Codad is another piece of software that StanDev developed, and that's for exporting models and stuff. So yeah, it's a good handful of programs. And in terms of cost, Blender is a free open source software that anyone listening that's interested in it can go and learn. It's free. Woohoo! And the Adobe Suite cost me, okay, now I'm going to tell you in fake, let me convert it from fake Australian dollars to US dollars or whatever.
There we go.
So about
Freedom
about
units.
30 US dollars a month I pay for my Adobe Suite. So that's pretty much my upkeep.
Very
As long
cool.
as I make $30 back for that, then I'm winning.
Oh my god. Okay. Eviescape wants to know, what's it like being the horniest man in the OSRS section? You said you replied to him saying factually incorrect.
Okay.
Do you stand by that?
There is people like Bitter and Ignoble Solid in the replies that you can see that are just see.
Wait, oh yeah, let me see those.
Someone said Ditter. Well, Ron Plays Games suggested Ditter, and then Swift suggested Ignoble, and I think they're very good contenders. But I think this what's it like being the horniest man in the OSRS section just stems from me. I don't know. I like to watch all streams, all viewers. All streams, and no matter what they're like. And sometimes I end up in the more boober streams, and I get called out for it. I mean, they're not calling me out when I'm watching Skidler or watching those sort of people. But no, it's when I end up in those other streams that people start to call me out. And
yeah, what's up with that, man?
What's it like? It's a sad life, very lonely. I don't know. Yeah, it's funny. It's kind of a joke now, and it's kind of gone to a point where it's a funny little. I mean, I kind of encourage it sometimes, just to get a reaction out of them, just to see, is anyone watching? Is anyone?
All right. Jake also asks, can you give us your insight on Vaporeon? That's a Pokemon, right?
Yes. So that is an awful copy pasta from. I'm gonna assume 4chan, which we probably don't need to go into, but basically, there's just a write-up someone did about how Vaporeon is the most compatible Pokemon to human breeding combination. So yeah, that's that's what that's alluding to. Yeah. Shout out to the fan. We don't get any. I mean, either I'm not exposed to it, or there's just no RuneScape fan fiction going on. Where's that? I mean, maybe it does exist, and I've just not found it. But like the Neve and the whatever else goes into it. Maybe need to start a little side hustle of writing RuneScape fan fiction.
I'm not gonna. I mean, okay, this. I'm sorry for my audience listening to this if you are just not in this mood, but I was just thinking. I mean, with your talent with Blender and stuff, and the horniness of the community, you could make some very talented, not safe for work content that people would pay hundreds, if not billions for.
I mean, Eviescape has alluded to starting an OnlyFans. Maybe I'll have to collab with him, and then also we'll get some 3D modeled stuff going on there on the sides.
Dude,
I mean, you're definitely not wrong.
I just think of where the fuck did Eviescape get that picture of the hot chick that's looking in the mirror, but then it's Eviescape's fucking face. Me.
Dude, that's my doing.
It's literally perfect. I'm like, except for the phone. The phone's a little off, but that's only if you're like staring at it. But
the funniest thing about that is that you look at like the back of her head. That's the back of his head. That's not even like
no way.
I edited the back of the head as well. Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, he's got luscious hair, I guess.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's I mean, that's just
glorious.
Like. That's a 2 a.m. thought, messaging Evie, like, how funny would this be if I put you in, like, the reflection of that?
I mean, that is seriously what I am, when I think, because Eviescape's been talking about it for a long time, him coming out with his OnlyFans. He says he's going to do it, too, in, like, September or something, whatever.
Yeah, I believe him.
I'm not going to lie, if the content is that kind of shit, like, I might subscribe,
I definitely think there's going to be a funny little, like, balance between, well, he's been talking about the cock in a Glock thing, because going back to the gun thing, that's a little staple of his stream where he pulls out the Glock. It's a fake one, by the way, for people that are wondering. It's a very fake plastic one. But yeah, he said that he's gonna. I hate to use the word the climax, but the apex, I guess, of his OnlyFans career is the cock in a Glock, and just through the sort of trigger. But what was the question?
I don't even know. We got
but anyway,
we strayed far.
Fan fiction, yeah. Maybe I also I mean, shout out Sinferno. She's like one of the really close homies. She is always on the prowl for a new, like, or seeing Twitter trends and sort of connecting that back to RuneScape and stuff. Actually, no, maybe it was. I think Chelsea suggested a model of Neve, and for every 50 retweets, I take a piece of clothing off her, and I think that would probably go viral pretty quickly. But
Yeah, you'd have to
I
say
mean,
more than 50. It'd be like 5,000 every
I
5,000.
think. I mean, I can definitely see something like that. Like but there's the side of RuneScape community that are genuinely down bad to see Neve, and then there's the other community that are sort of like, that's pretty funny, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to kind of go back to this, and Gecko Shake asks, would you ever get into streaming more consistently? Why or why not?
Okay, well, I guess something I didn't mention before is one of the probably bigger limiting factors, which I guess probably isn't that bad, but like Australian internet is pretty horrible, and I get like maybe 7 upload on a good day. So I mean, I'd be a 720p streamer for sure. But like, I mean, I think hopefully I wouldn't lose too many friends. I mean, thankfully RuneScape is a game where you can stream at like 2000 bitrate or whatever, or even lower probably, and get away with it. But you see some RuneScape streamers who try to play like an FPS or something, and the stream just looks horrible because obviously their computer just can't run it, or it's the internet or whatever. But yeah, I think if internet wasn't an issue, or if I could just sort of get past it, or if it did work, I don't know. It's that sort of like feeling of not knowing what content would set me apart from the rest, I guess. Or if that's even an important thing, I don't know. I like the idea of streaming, and maybe if Raids 3 goes super well, and I top 100 rank after like a month because I've been playing too much RuneScape. Maybe then I'll think about chucking a stream on while I play. It's funny the amount of people in the high level community who have all of a sudden started streaming as soon as the client ban happened, because I mean, I'm guessing the reason they didn't stream was because they played on cheat client, and obviously you probably don't want to stream that, and then they got on RuneLite, were like, it's not that bad, I can play on RuneLite perfectly fine. So then they all decided to stream. But I mean, that's just going off topic, but yeah, I don't know what, like, I don't know if my gameplay would be. I mean, I know, like, obviously you don't have to be amazing at the game, right?
It's just, it really is what you said initially. It's like offering something unique. And I think you do have a lot of stuff to offer that's unique. It would have to be up to you what would set you apart dramatically. But like, seriously, I mean, you even just see transitions and notifications and things like when people fall, like things that make your stream even just visually pop out more, and like be more like, ooh, this is sleek, like this is like nice being here, good music, good vibes. And it's like sometimes there's more to it than just like gameplay and just being super funny. It's like,
I think there's definitely like a triangle. You can be really good at the game and get viewers for it. You can be really funny at the game, or really funny in general and get viewers for it. And that's it's probably hopefully fit in somewhere there.
You had mentioned that you've been playing a lot of RuneScape, so I guess we'll cover some of these RuneScape questions. Jay, or Metallic Mage. By the way, I gotta give a shout out to this guy, Metallic Mage.
I love Jay.
He came into my stream one random day when I decided I was killing necks, and we would always go on like those high risk worlds or target worlds or whatever. Anyway, so I got an elite clue and I pulled the lever, and of course I was in target world where I'm automatically skulled. I had my blowpipe, had my eternal glory. I was gonna lose it all. There's no protect item. And a guy was instantly by the lever trying to murder me. And then his team logged in. And so I'm on stream with 2 brews only. And I'm like, motherfuckers, get out here. I'm on this world. I need help bad. Yeah. And anyway, so it was like a 3-minute highlight on my stream that just like shows me running around and like trying to evade these guys and having my stream come in. And then Metallic Mage is that one guy that really boxed the last
Gandalf.
person off me. He basically
literally
Gandalf.
on the hill with the sun behind him as he rides down.
Literally Gandalf, because it's literally like we're on that little peninsula where the lever is, and I'm running away from it. It's basically like you shall not fucking pass. So he boxes that guy that can't freeze me, and so I ended up getting away with no food left and like 30 HP
That's
or something.
incredible.
So I modded him. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I love Jay. I just came from a call with him then actually before
really?
he started. Yeah, he's a homie.
Very cool. He asks, do you have any PvP experience, whether it be PKing at revs or wilderness bosses? And if so, could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, so there is a bit of context behind this question that I'll just answering it at a base level. My PvP experience is just sort of messing around with the homies, going up and like the rag gear and just hitting people in multi, like Venenatus and stuff. That's where those people that just sort of, I mean, I understand it's a terrible experience to get hit by people in the wilderness, but like when you're with your homies, I mean, there's obviously like two ways to it, but yeah. And that's my experience with PvP. I've never really gotten into like sort of 1v1 sort of stuff. Like it's just not something. I guess I am like one of many people probably put off by the skill gap, and I don't really have the interest to delve that much time and effort into PvP to get good enough at it where I can probably enjoy the like PvP aspect of the game. But so the reason he asked this is I mentioned briefly before that I am now in Obliv but used to be in FOH, and so obviously with a lot of clans, there's the rule, you know, you can't PK people within your own clan because you know,
is that actually a rule?
Well,
I guess that makes sense.
I guess it makes sense more like if you think about the fact that you've got their worlds permanently, even if they appear offline, and
true.
also like you've got the game, like the drop announcement thing, right?
That's
like
true.
This dude just got like, I don't know, a tyrannical ring, you know what this dude's doing, where he's at. Like, so I guess they do kind of make that rule. So when I was still in FOH, there was an Obliv bingo going on, and me and my friends thought, damn, Obliv people, they're probably some of the richest people in the game. They're probably risking a whole lot of stuff in the wilderness because there were wilderness tiles in their bingo. So we're just sort of hopping through Venenatus, killing people for like 8 mil or whatever. And then obviously like Obliv is like the sweat. So it's like I'm killing Scorpio 1+4 with 4 ults. So like you're killing 4 ults. So this poor person has not only died on their main, but they're now re-gearing 5 accounts to go back up to the wilderness to probably get attacked by you again in like 20 minutes. So that's the context behind my PvP experience. And then obviously I then joined Obliv, and I think some people have still got a little bit of a sour taste in their mouth from that experience. But I think most people get that it's you're in the wilderness. You get attacked. It's just this that's what the wilderness is, right? But yeah, that's my recent experience with wilderness is killing in just multi, just running in to Venenatus, some dude who's kind of semi-focused, and then all of a sudden there's 10 people attacking him and he's just dead 3 ticks later, and there's 8 mil gone. And
I just love that I've always been an Iron Man clan. So if it's never been a rule, it's never even been a thought to have a rule, because nobody's going out on their Iron Man PKing other Iron Men. You
say that, but some of us were. I do have a friend, Lockie, who loves to PK on his Iron Man, and he is going up with claws and stuff. So I mean, if somehow he ends up getting smited, he's losing those claws on his Iron Man. But it is. There's no incentive.
Yeah, I remember back when revs were initially multi, and I was trying to camp revs for like 3 months straight. I'm talking like full degen hours. I was working part-time, and so like basically anytime I wasn't working, I was on my computer. And that was like total hell. But I do remember when you are just surrounded by an environment of PvP, you're just like always killing each other and dying and stuff. You end up getting a little bit of a taste for like going out and like seeking your own prey, you know what I mean? So I got the like brilliant idea of going out and doing those like, you know, full max strength clawing out black chin hunters, just because it's so easy to do. You just run out there and claw them twice and just do like a little venge thing so they don't know you're coming at them. And I had a really fun night where I killed like 7 different people, but I never got to loot anything. I just did it just because I wanted that like
It is pretty
thrill
funny,
of just
yeah.
killing somebody. And yeah, it feels pretty shitty because the people are just like calling you the worst things ever, that you're like spending
Yeah.
your time to ruin somebody else's day.
Yeah.
Because I literally was not getting anything out of it. It was literally just me venting almost. Just like, I've died so many
Yeah.
fucking times at revs. I want to be the one that has all the power now. So like, yeah, it's
It
weird. But I understand how PKers get into that, where it's like, okay, that's all they want to do at this point is just PK. I don't know.
it makes you wonder, like, is there I know, so like, is there ever a possibility of like an AI, like a bot version of like LMS or something, where people can just verse like AI? I mean, obviously, like, people say, oh, that's,
Yeah.
it might develop bad tendencies if you want to become a PK because they're not acting like a real person. But I mean, maybe it satisfies that urge for some people who wouldn't.
Dude, that's what
Like,
Maudalena was talking about on the Sae Bae cast. Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's been at least 9 months ago at this point,
Yeah.
but she had mentioned something like a PvP training ground where
Mhm.
you're facing a bot basically, and you learn the
Yeah.
basics. They kind of progress
I
with
mean,
you, and then you're eventually facing a Terminator.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the goal. I mean, with the pathing of thralls up until today's update, I mean,
Yeah.
how much hope I don't know we can have in that, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they could program it
Dude,
to be kind of fun, but
I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie, the fact that they now have pathing for thralls makes me fucking terrified. They're gonna have pathing for like bosses and stuff. So like, imagine an Inferno 2.0 where the bosses can just path around the pillars and shit like whenever they
yeah.
want, and just like
I
it's kind of
I
terrifying.
instantly when that update happened, I said, okay, we need to go to Mystics at Cox because that is the most zigzaggy path where
Yep.
thralls are permanently getting stuck. And someone they long ranged like the back Mystic in the back of the room after summoning a thrall at the entrance, and it was like a Roomba, like watching that little thrall walk through the maze, sort of like, because obviously they walk, right, they don't run, so he's
Yeah.
just slowly walking through the maze of the Mystic, and then finally just starts shooting the Mystics. It was just like
Dude,
hilarious.
dude,
It is so hilarious.
how fucking cool would it be to have running thralls?
That's terrifying, as if
Like,
they weren't overpowered enough.
yeah, no, they're pretty busted, but I think that would be really cool. Maybe just spend a little bit more of this new spell that just makes them like hit double what they
So,
already hit, and just make them run and
you
shit.
know, you're asking for a lot, right? Coming, the fact that those things are the biggest DPS increase we've gotten from a single thing, and it came from a quest, is mind blowing.
Yeah.
And I think you're asking for, unless I mean, that book, the Book of the Dead, could have just been a raids drop. Like, that's it. That is a ridiculous thought. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, maybe if you like got a raid drop that are attached to the Book of the Dead or something to sort of, I mean, not that they need to be any stronger, but
Yeah.
I assume that's what it'd have to be to pull or whatever an increase
Well,
for the thralls.
I already have a feeling that they're gonna get rid of the Book of the Dead requirement. I mean, they literally on release already got rid of the requirement that you had to be wielding the book. That used to be a fucking requirement.
Ah,
You had
I
to
forgot. I
wield the
forgot that was
book
the
to do
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was just thinking, oh well, if I ever want to use a scythe anywhere, I can't use this because then my thrall will go away. And then
I
on
mean,
release, you just didn't have to. So now I'm thinking, dude, I'm pretty sure eventually they'll pull, simply because the new arcane's coming out as well.
yeah.
Like maybe they'll add like, ooh, you can attach the essence of Book of Darkness or whatever it's called into the
Mhm.
new Ward of Elidinus, and then you can just use that or something. I don't know.
Just briefly mentioning that, what do you think so far of the assets, the models and stuff of the both the Shadow of Tumikin and then the Ward? What are your
I
thoughts on them?
saw the Ward. I have actually not seen the Shadow. Can you link those to me?
Yeah, let me find it.
Because I'll also show them to people that are unaware as well.
Uh,
But
so
the the Ward looked. They said what? It was like that skull of a fucking
a hippo or
hippo or
something.
something. Like it looked pretty cool though. Like with that little lore. I have
Yeah,
not seen the Shadow yet.
they did it in two posts. I think Mod Jerv did the
The Shadow's
Mod.
two-handed though, right? So you can't
Yeah,
even
the
use
Shadows
both.
two handed. Shout out Mod Jerv though for their concept art. Brilliant artist. That's the Shadow, the two-handed staff that I've just linked you now.
Ooh, okay. Let's pull this up. Okay. Okay, that is
This,
like fucking. It looks epic. Like it just looks like, damn, this
yeah.
thing is like a god destroyer.
I guess it's supposed to be like a eclipse. I guess like that's what I'm getting from the middle bit. It's like the moon covering the sun. That's an
Ooh,
eclipse.
that's cool. That's cool,
Yeah,
cool. And
so
then,
that's awesome. That's the ward, and then also I guess this is also that was it initially shown, and then that second thing I've linked is the sort of updates they did because the initial feedback was it's probably too small,
okay.
and they've added an ornament kit because apparently that's the meta for updates is just whack an ornament kit on everything.
So this is what it used to look like, and people thought it looked too small, kind of like a buckler almost.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
And then they are changing it to this. So let's pull this up real
Don't
quick.
I don't know if I'm sold on the ward. It first of all, it's an arcane that then becomes the color of an Elysian for some reason. I'm
Yep.
not sure about that.
I kind okay, yeah, okay. Well, here, let me hear you out first, and then I'll share my
Okay.
thoughts.
So I love the sigil shape. I think that is so cool. But I think it's once you see the blue part of the shield looking like a dude that's putting his arms up celebrating, it just it just it I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the shape of the actual blue part of the shield, but the rest of it I think is awesome. That's my thoughts on it.
So they are having two different colors,
So I
and
believe it's an ornament kit,
the
the
recolor's
red, like the
tied to
duck
the
one.
pyramid, or the
And then
recolor.
if you scroll down to the reply to that tweet, you can actually see the recolored one being walked through in game. It
Ooh,
looks a bit different.
ooh,
Yeah, it's like it's more darker and transparent, I
dude.
guess, than the
I'm not
I
gonna.
think it's cool.
I think these look really fucking. I like the red. Unfortunately, red always kind of has that thing with melee. Like red
Hmm.
shouldn't really be mage, but and the
Yeah,
unfortunate thing is you can't even use the shadow with this. So,
exactly. Yeah,
but
it's
it's
gonna
still
be
so cool looking.
do you I can't remember. Do you have an arcane or you
I do. I finally got
okay.
mine. So yeah.
Yeah. That's right. So I mean, yeah, hopefully you get this little attachment for it in the
Yeah,
ornament kit.
I'm just gonna say right now, I'm a much bigger fan of the red. I think they
Hmm.
could completely scrap the turquoise.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, yeah, I think so. I think yeah, I mean, yeah, the red just looks better in general.
Yep.
Plus, it's strange that it's an Elysian colored shield when it's an arcane, which would be yellow.
Yep. Yep. You're totally right.
I
That's what I
don't,
think.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold on the two little arm bits that sort of point out towards the front.
Yeah, I can see that you can see that, but
Hmm.
I just don't see it being a big deal. I see what you mean. Like the two fins are almost feet, and then the arms are kind of
Hmm.
reaching out, and then the
Yeah,
head. Yeah, I don't. I can't really. I don't see that being a problem.
yeah.
Honestly, that's me though.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be the exact same as Torva and everything else. Where, like, obviously, we're all just used to running around in Bandos and a face guard and that being best in slot. And then,
Hmm.
like, Torva comes out, and initially you're like, well, this is some new looking armor. I mean, I guess Torva does have that nostalgia and obviously existing prior to old school, but we're just going to start wielding the shield, and in 2 weeks, it's just going to be the norm. Like, you're just going
Yeah.
to be used
Yeah.
to it, like having it equipped. And the
Oh,
same
I
with
think
everything
it
else. I
looks.
think the staff is awesome.
It looks fucking dope. I'm not
I,
gonna lie. Like,
I
I'm
think, yeah.
actually so pumped for this. And mainly, I think part of the reason I love it so much is because it's transparent now. Unlike
Hmm.
what they originally had proposed,
Yeah.
which was like that buckler that's kind of like. It almost looks like a Guardians of the Rift reward. Like, what?
Do
Like,
you now? I know as a nightmare connoisseur, you might know, but do you remember that they initially polled and I think it even passed the upgraded arcane coming from Nightmare, right? Like an offhand mage book. That was thing. I don't know if you remember that.
yeah, the siren or the
Yeah, exactly,
what was it
exactly.
called?
Did they ever show like artwork for that, or did they never
Uh,
get that far?
I think they originally had. Let me actually just look that up real quick.
Yeah,
What
because
was it called?
that
Siren's Tome?
yeah. I believe so. But that passed, right? And then the feedback was somehow.
Okay,
Uh,
so I'm pulling this up here. Let me actually link this to you real
mhm.
quick. This is what the book originally looked like, but then they wanted to attach it to an
Ah,
arcane, and I think the arcane
yeah,
was all just fan art.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
so this is what the
Ah,
book used to look
man,
like.
that's pretty interesting. I mean, I kind of get around the book. Um,
Yeah, what did that shield ever look like?
I don't know how much you know about RuneScape 3, but is there like are there cursed spirit shields or something? A lot of people, maybe it's like a bloody private server thing or something. A lot of people have been putting around a photo of like an arcane shield, except it's sort of like black and red color scheme. Let me see if I can find that. Probably not. But yeah, I guess it's close enough to the arcane, I guess, that it's the sigil mainly, that it's you can tell that it comes from it, and I think it's good that it's like obviously close enough. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure people will just be used to it, and the staff is awesome. And I think, what have we got left to be revealed? The Tumikins Fang, that's
Ooh,
and
I'm excited for
the
that.
Missouri. Is that it?
It's Osmumten's Fang and
Okay.
Masori.
Okay, and then I mean the ring is the ring. We're not really going to see that.
Light bearer ring. Yeah, who knows what they.
The
Doesn't really matter.
the pet. I'm assuming the pet's going to be awesome. It's an interesting thought with the invocations, right? So with challenge mode and hard mode, Cox and Tob respectively, which came out a decent amount of time after the initial release, we got the dust right and the ornament kits. So it's I'm assuming the fact that they're already showing ornament kits for the items that we're going to get the dust because of the invocation system. We kind of had that difficulty system built in to the raid on release. So what, we're going to get dust on release? That's kind of exciting, but also kind of miss that little rejuvenation period of like the harder mode, I guess.
True. I wonder if in the future they'll add more invocations.
I think that is they should 100%. I think that's genius, and that is an easy way to like rejuvenate the content at a
Yeah.
certain point, especially if like people get to a point where they are completing it with all invocations. I don't know if that's they've balanced around it being possible. I mean, I'm sure Port Khazard or Wooks or someone is gonna do it, even if they say that it's not possible. But it would be, yeah, if that is a thing, yeah, I and even if not, I think, yeah, more invocations in the future, like almost like expansion pack type of thing. I think
Yeah.
that would be cool.
Yeah. Dude, I just gotta say how fucking cool it is that you just brought up the name Port Gazard with Wooks. Like, I
Dude,
just,
Port Khazard is, yeah.
he's so goddamn good at the game. Like, there
Mm-hmm.
are actually players that are on the level of Wooks now. I mean, Wooks definitely could have been like the ultimate goat if he were to just continuously play, but he's just got a life outside of the game. And
Yeah, I, I, I think a general consensus, like amongst a lot of the people I hate to use the term HLC, but it is Works is just a genius at discovering and creating methods and stuff,
mhm.
which I guess Port Khazard does as well. But it's I think the execution of mechanics and being like just at that aspect of the game, like unreal. Like there are some incredible people, like
Yeah.
yeah, Port Khazard. It's funny because when I was applying for Obliv, there was my name there in the applications, and Port Khazard was also applying at the same time. So it was sort of like Hootie and then Port Khazard, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a immensely talented gamer that is almost in a league of his own.
Yeah, he is insane. And there's a lot of insane people now. I mean,
100%.
even people like Afzal. I mean, we already know
Mm-hmm.
Exact is up there. I think Exact's
Yeah,
probably going to be taking a step away from the game. We'll see if he comes back for Raids 3 and really tries to do something crazy. I think personally he will. Mainly because I still think he has a deep love for the game, even though he like clearly wants to.
Mm-hmm.
It appears as though he wants to kind of like move on and just like get his life started. I think he's definitely going to get maybe sucked into Raids 3 if it's good enough.
Yeah, probably.
We'll see.
I mean, just sort of throwing back out the Speedrun Cup. I mean, the people we've got in the Speedrun Cup, we've got the current solo CM world record holder, the ex solo CM world record holder that he took it from. We've got the corrupt gauntlet world record holder, the regular gauntlet world record holder. We've got Fight K's world record holder, Inferno world record holder. We've got trio top scale world record holders. We've got people that have almost got trio CM scale records. Like we have got, I'd like to say, the best of the best in this tournament.
Exciting, man.
Yeah, the level of skill is compared to I mean just the where the game is in general now in 2022 compared to 2020 is just like people are getting very good at this game, and it is it's a very interesting thought, and there's
I wonder if clients, even including RuneLight or anything, had just never really come out and never really got that whole community-driven plugin kind of thing going. I wonder if people would be as good, because I swear those plugins that teach you about the game are really make people a lot better.
I definitely think I don't think we would have pushed as hard in learning like pick perfect stuff or just stuff like that in general. I don't think that would have been as easy to, or maybe that would have been the only thing we could have focused on. I don't know. It is hard to say for sure. I don't think the level of skill in RuneScape would be anywhere near as high if we were all playing on the original client.
Oh god, yeah, the original especially would just be fucking miserable.
Yeah. I mean, even like OS Buddy and where that was at that time, and Conduit and all those.
Yeah.
I think, RuneLight is, people have been making the joke as soon as clients, the cheat clients got nuked, like almost all the plugins got added to RuneLight anyway, minus AoE warnings and tick counters on bosses, which people are just circumventing by using the visual tick metronome plugin. I don't know if you're aware of that one, but which basically is a tick timer on bosses. But I mean, we're pretty much there besides AoE warnings, to be fair, which is an interesting thought.
To be fair, like most plugins have honestly just given this game a lot more life and just a lot more fun to it. It's like just their quality of life. It just makes you enjoy it more. You know what? I had a weird thought come up just briefly about thinking of PVM since the beginning of old school. Beginning of old school 2013, I mean, late 2013, we finally got God Wars. But before that, it was KBD, KQ, DKs, Barrows, like really boring stuff. And then it, over the next 9 years led into what we have today. And hopefully Raids 3 is about to be
What
crazy.
year did Zulrah come out? Because that was
2015.
ahead of its time. That was ahead of its time.
2015.
As a boss, its mechanics, like now, even to this day, has some of the best mechanics out of bosses. Like, they smashed Zora when you think about it.
Yeah, for the time. Oh yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah, and just the thought of like you said, what we didn't have on Relates. There's people that genuinely, I mean, fair play to them. Like say, I would have loved old school without any updates, but there's just no way a player base would have existed for that long if the end game content was KQ and Barrow. It's like, I personally would not have.
There was like a different mindset back then, though. It was,
sure.
I mean, people loved to flex 99s and people loved to flex their like total levels and stuff like that. And the game's just so shifted. Like nobody even cares about your total level anymore.
You've either got a max cape or you don't now.
Yeah. It's literally like, are you maxed yet? Okay. Like if you're not maxed, oh well, you're getting there, right? Like you're almost there. Or you've already maxed before you're working on this other maxed account. But
maybe
like
one day it'll be, do you have a comp cape or not? But
literally. By the way, I'm worried about the comp cape, mainly because it kind of encourages people to vote no to things.
We can talk about that if you want, because I have some thoughts on the comp cape.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
You want to finish your point?
I want to just finish off the point of like PVM having progressed so far in 9 years, and I'm just anticipating Raids 3 is going to be just crazy. And then you have skilling that's like, dude, nothing has gotten more challenging from skilling except for Sepulcher. Like, I'm genuinely trying to think of anything that actually got more challenging.
Volcanic Mine, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, even that is so easy. It just takes, like, there's a little bit of brain power. It's like, okay, you got to turn off this vent or something. But, like, Sepulcher was amazing. And the reason I kind of bring this up is, like, dude, PVM never ended up getting stale because you kept working on it. You kept bringing out things that are harder and harder and harder, more engaging, more rewarding. Skilling never really got that, to be honest. And yeah, they've tried with mini games, but it's always really focused on everybody's able to do this. Like, everybody can come along and have some fun in this massive thing. It's like, dude, Sepulcher came out and defied that. It was like, okay, this is actually going to be a challenge. And Sepulcher has ended up being the most fun skilling in the entire game. And I would love to see them do things like that for future skills. I mean, dude, that's probably why skilling is so fucking dull now, is because there's no challenge to it whatsoever. It's just time-based.
Do you know the JMod that originally pitched the Sepulchre? Because that kind
Must
of
have been Husky. I think
yeah,
mainly
because
was
that
Husky.
like you think in terms of like agility was, I mean, obviously rooftop courses are rooftop courses, not interesting at all. But you can almost say that it was in a good enough spot where they didn't really like there wasn't, I don't know, was there a sense of urge to give an update to agility and to also just put it randomly, I don't know, randomly or whatever in the like Dark Mire and all that sort of like updates and stuff? Like was that like I wonder how that came about
Yeah.
going, oh yeah, well let's make a like the next big grand quest that introduces us to Darkmire and also by the way we're going to do an agility mini game just
Mhm.
inside it.
Mhm.
Like I wonder how that came about. But yeah, I think yeah, it's they kind of, I don't know if I'm misremembering, but they kind of alluded to with Raids 3 there being paths, right? And you sort of have to do something before you get to the boss.
Yeah.
Do you
There's
so
like
like I think
hallways,
they
there's
mentioned
like
something like
obstacles and stuff.
Sepulchre, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, I'm interested to see how that plays out. I think there's going to be a balance between it being sort of tedious. Like, I mean, imagine you have to do the full like floor 5 equivalent before you get to the boss every single time you do a raid. I think that would probably get tedious at a certain point, but I am interested to see. But I think, yeah, I think skilling needs more stuff like Sepulchre for sure.
So
It's
have you ever done those gardens, or sorry, what's it called? Summer gardens and the squirt gardens or whatever?
You mean the ones where you just click once when you're on the right tick?
Yeah. Those. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
I
it.
don't know when the fuck those were made, but like decade. I
Oh,
mean,
that is
at least a
old.
decade and
That
a
is
half ago.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know what though? I was thinking, how fucking cool would it be? And this works really well because it's thieving and there's no dedicated, like, for example, wood cutting. Wood cutting it's literally in the name. It's called cut wood.
Mhm.
Like you cut wood.
Yeah.
But with thieving, it's sort of like agility where it's not really a buyable or a gatherer. It's just this other, it's in the
Mhm.
other category of skills. And same with thieving.
Yeah.
Imagine you had a new minigame that comes out that is kind of like the same idea of guards. It's kind of like Monkey Madness 2, where you're on that
Yeah.
barge or whatever. You're trying to
Mhm.
dodge people. Imagine there's something like that, and you're looting. And that's the whole idea of it, is just very precise clicking, very precise dodging of guards and guard dogs and stuff like that. Or maybe having to, like, you know, choke out a guy without any casualties or whatever. You have to like choke out people, and that's part of the thieving skill as well. And then you have this chest, and multiple chests where you can like loot. Like, I want that, but I want it very difficult. I want there to be timing to it, precision, and
I'm laughing because this does exist in the game, but it's just a very poor effort. It's just stealing artifacts in Pistolius, right?
Yeah, and I've
But
done
it's
maybe
done
10
very
minutes
poorly.
of that.
Yeah, it's done very poorly. But I think the issue with it is like one, it a plugin comes out 2 days after release, and it's just click this tile type of thing. I think that it has to kind of be. I mean, I hate the idea of them having to design around RuneLight, but keeping that in mind,
look at Sepulchre. There is no thing that's telling you the exact tiles to look at.
True.
And if they did come out, that would be illegal. And at this point,
I think
they can ban
I think
those.
that's smart. It's I think that is 100%. There has to be none of that going on with if they did. But yeah, I think we do need more stuff like that, more skill based stuff, and like it is just enjoyable.
And I'm even thinking, okay, so what was that quest where is it the
rat catchers?
Rat catchers. Yeah, like there's an actual area. It's an instance area where it's like, okay, this is your mission. This is your mission to go get whatever the hell. It's been years since I've done.
You mean the quest that everyone like normally points out as their least favorite quest specifically for that part of the quest?
It's mainly because it's so fucking. It's impossible to understand who's looking at who, what the pathing is.
Has to be,
And to be honest, the reason Sepulchre is so fun is because there really is a sense of prediction. Like, you can predict, like, okay, this flame's gonna shoot out here. It's not gonna just fucking flame all you randomly.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say right now, and I've said this before, those little yellow portals in Sepulchre, dude, you please, whatever JMod's listening to this, please, with the yellows and the blues, make them so that they don't do anything until a tick after they've spawned.
Yeah, I heard you say this on stream.
Dude, it's
Actually,
so tilting. It's like you just got RNG'd. Like it was impossible to dodge that. You have to path through some yellows.
Yeah.
And if on that very tick it decides to shoot up, you
Yeah.
get path back. Like, dude,
do you
come on.
consciously avoid yellows or go for the blues?
Barely,
Is
because
that
it's not
something-
worth it. I can
Dude,
get RNG'd.
I just-
If I couldn't get RNG'd, I would work toward it. I'm not kidding. I would work toward it. I would get
Besides
really
the
good.
ones, there's the ones where you obviously use them to like skip the sword or whatever, right? Like
Mhm,
those ones. But the ones where it's just like the tiled yellows and blues, I'm just clicking to the end and I'm either stepping on one or I'm not.
Dude,
that's my strategy.
That
for
pretty
that.
much is how it has to go. There's a little bit of skill you can put into it, but seriously, there are just rows where there's a double row of yellows, and it's impossible to perfectly get around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the final bit as you come around to the final bit of floor 5, right?
That
As
one's
you
a
go down the
bitch.
staircase.
That one is a
that's
bitch.
just That's yeah. And there's a couple other ones. I think even on floor 5 of the level above it. I think there's it's just
annoying because like you get yellowed back before you even know it because you're standing on a top. You can't even see that it lit up, and you're all of a sudden shoved back. Like, what the fuck? Like, damn it, dude. So
I mean, yeah, besides that, I think it's a brilliant mini game just to sum it up.
I'm
More
just
stuff
thinking
like
of
that.
like, okay, a couple instanced missions. You know, thieving got a new thing. There's like maybe 5 levels of it, and it's something like an instance like rat catchers. And who knows, maybe it could even be co-op where it's like, hey, you both got to meet up right here and you got to escape before the time limit runs out. So it has to be a duo thing. You're both on opposite sides. You both got to end up together, and you got to dodge guards. You got to choke out people.
It's kind of like it's one of the underground quests with Zanuck, right? Is it Zanuck? Where you say like wait here, and then you go lure the guard, and then Zanuck shoots it from behind. Or there's I think even with
That
the
stuff.
trolls in one of the
Yep.
Whis quests or whatever, right?
Yep.
You kind of like you take out the guy. Yeah, that would be very interesting.
As
That
long-
would add like a certain skill to it.
Yeah, as long as it feels good, because there is a lot
Mm-hmm.
of clunkiness to things, and it's the same, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I know you've been in my stream a few times, so you've probably heard all this bullshit that I keep rattling off. But like, dude, make things like just make actions quicker. Dude, this might sound crazy. Some purist out there is gonna freak out on me for even saying this, but dude, imagine a world where teleports are no longer 4 ticks. Like teleports are now like maybe 2. So it's like you're just getting around places. You're bouncing. You're bouncing now. Like you're flying. And the other really cool thing that I would love is I've always thought this might have been an engine work thing, but if any JMods out there listening to this, like, dude, is there any possible way we can get rid of the POH load completely? Just make it so you're in your POH immediately. 2-tick telly into your POH. Done.
Yeah, I'd assume that's. I don't think any JMods are interested in touching the POH code. I think it was. They even talked about the hassle of like when they did the big update that made construction relevant and probably too overpowered. But the whole like adding too many hotspots to one room, like there's a limit.
Yeah.
And I think they're pretty much. I'm going to assume they're done with the construction and they have no plans to ever add more stuff to it because I think it's in a good place and it's probably terrible to work with.
No,
I think
it is terrible to work with, but they've surprised. Jagex has surprised me.
Yeah.
And the one of those things is like opening a menu. Like if you're on your equipment tab, you right click your Glory or your Maxscape, you have a menu. You can teleport, and immediately after teleporting, you right click it again, and the menu will not disappear once you've landed at your destination.
Oh, okay.
That is something I thought they could never solve. I thought that was an engine thing that was just fucked in the game forever. But no, they solved it. And so I wonder, is it a potential possibility to get rid of that POH load?
And if not, tell me why there isn't a plugin that lets me replace the image of "There's no place like home." Why can't I replace that image with a picture of my own? Tell me that's not a good plugin idea. I don't know if anyone else is.
Yeah. If you can't do it,
we're
at least
shouting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone please make that a plugin if you are a plugin developer, because that needs to be a thing. Let me put like a picture of a mansion or something funny in that little square.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like a picture of your actual like POH, like so then you can at least
that
anticipate
would
the
be
next
cool.
click coming in. You know, like
I mean, yeah, I guess.
yeah.
yeah,
But
I
no,
mean,
even that. I
something
mean, just
funny.
have. I know Uncle would like some cat girls potentially.
Yeah, I mean,
change
just
that.
an excuse to have it up for a little bit, a couple, whatever, 2 ticks or however long the.
Yeah,
POH
no,
load
that would
is.
be cool. Completely customizable picture and you put it on there. Yeah, I don't know. I just think, man, PVM gets all the good shit. They put a lot of resources in making challenging content, but skilling barely gets anything. So I'd love to see them really pump out some non-combat, really skillful, tactical mini games, and not even mini games, but just I don't know.
I mean, I think they say, I think they spoke about it. I think, was it Mod? Is it Mod Mark? I'm gonna have to Google. Spoke about like the biggest like regret they had with RS3 was just going forward, releasing more content, and never updating old stuff. I think
Mm,
I would love to see them polish like Rogue's Den or polish. I mean, Rogue's
yes,
Den, I guess, is
yes,
fine as it
yes.
is, but I think there's stuff that is dead content that exists in the game that could be touched. I saw someone posted something about why is Castle Wars games 20 minutes? Like, surely that's just way too long of an enjoyable experience. And I understand there are the very small communities that play Castle Wars, give them a legacy mode or something, but things like that, I think like you could rework some of this stuff to just,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
I
yes,
think I
yes.
think there's some stuff they
I'm
could
I'm a
touch up.
I'm a huge fan of reworking old content. Dude,
Yeah.
Rogue's Den in particular, that place is fucking awesome. Like the
Yeah.
fact that it gives like next to nothing and it's just I don't know, it's kind of pointless to even do after you get the Rogue's outfit. It's like
Yeah. But there's a little bit of that thing you're talking about, like you throw the dust or whatever this thing
yeah,
is
yeah.
at the guard and run past.
Yep. Things like
Um
that are really fun.
yeah.
And
Fuck it. Just upgrade, add another couple floors to Rogue's Den. There you go. But make them
I
more
mean,
like interactive.
seriously, that could be the thieving minigame that's just higher tier Rogue's
Yeah.
Den.
I think that works well. It exists already. It's adds. I don't know. I think that's a
Yeah.
play for them. Sure. There you go. Get us on the team at Jagex. Let's put a pitch together.
Dude, even Skullball. You ever played Skullball before?
Oh, dude, I think so. So there's two different things that I get confused with, because there's an agility course and then there's also the one where you just kick the ball around, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's
Down there,
werewolf
I think
course, and then
so.
there's the skull
Yeah,
ball. You're
right.
kicking a
Okay.
ball.
And it's literally calculated to like kick and then you like tap or whatever I don't know what the
Yeah,
options
yeah.
are.
There's kick, tap, and shoot, or tap, kick, and shoot, or whatever.
Or gnome ball. Great names.
There is a problem with that, and the main problem with Skullball is how clunky everything feels.
Oh,
I mean,
so
there's a lot
clunky.
of problems with that mini game. Don't get me wrong. There's more problems than. In fact, I don't think there's a single good thing about it now. But
I think Jebram will disagree.
the thing is,
But
GE Challenge, Jebram, and whoever else, I think Paizuri was on the team that would just try to get the absolute tick perfect run and involve like
yeah.
multiple people and kicking the ball. And it was weird. But there is potential for things like that where you make at least make the fundamentals of the game smooth and non-clunky and fun. Like have a ball that goes faster, have a ball where like when you click it, it's already rolling, like it's already it's not like one of those things where you have to approach the adjacent tile, wait one tick, and then kick it. Like Jesus, dude, like you could have kicked it 2 tiles like previous, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
add that
Yeah, I mean,
smoothness and add some more
a lot.
courses maybe and add some teamwork potentially and then add high rewards. Did you know if you're tick perfect on Skullball, I mean like tick perfect flawlessness, you're only getting like less than 30k agility XP an hour.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just dead
Like
content
this
instantly, isn't it?
yeah, there's no reward. It's like dude, I don't know. And I'm not trying to advocate for reviving Skullball because Skullball is like, oh god, what could even be revived from that? But like
Give it some tickets
there's
and you buy an outfit and put on the collection log. There you
exactly.
go. People will do it.
Yeah. Has some skeleton outfit.
Yeah.
Okay, here is a question from B Milla. Favorite and least favorite OSRS content. Have you ever and then here's another question, they're completely random. Have you ever had a supernatural experience?
Oh, geez. Just to answer that quickly, I don't think so. I don't think I've really ever. I'm not like a big fan or big believer in supernatural experiences. So, I mean, maybe that stems from me not having my own experience. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no. And what most favorite and least favorite content?
Yeah.
Most favorite is Tob. If I if I log into the game, it's Tob. I'm tobbing, and I'm a big nerd for the aspect of like not max efficient, right? But like I'm tobbing to be like
Zooming.
I'm always hitting at max stats. I'm always like, I'm not missing ticks.
Yeah.
I'm spellbook swapping and all that. Like that's the aspect. Maybe I'm not doing it every time, but that's what I enjoy about Tob. And that's what I'm logging in for. And then least favorite experience. Oh,
Skullball.
least favorite. Yeah, Skullball. I don't know. It's obviously something I don't do, so I can't think.
I don't know.
Maybe it was maxing. I don't know. Actually, what did I least enjoy maxing? Hunter. I'm not a big fan of Hunter.
Hunter sucks.
Catching chins. I'm just not there
It's
for.
the worst.
It's
Catching chins sucks ass.
You know how I got 99 Hunter? Very reclined maniacal monkeys. Those ones where you put the banana down,
Dude,
and
I
then
was
a
tempted
minute
on
later
doing
you
that.
click it.
Yeah.
Dude, that and like 3 series on Netflix, that's my 99 Hunter.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I did it. It's still like I think it's like 80 to 100 KXP an hour, like at high levels. Like it's not bad for like a click every minute or whatever it is. But
no, that's honestly what I fucking have always hated Hunter. Herbivore was bearable, so I just did Herbivore, but even Herbivore after like 20 laps, you're like, damn, this sucks.
And Birdhouse is another chore that I'm just not there for.
Dude.
I'm not an Iron Man. I don't have chores to do. I play the game when I want to play the game.
Yeah, Iron Man's literally chorescape.
Yeah.
If you make it that way, I choose to chill, but yeah.
The aspect that I always was put off by for Iron Man was I want to do Tob. I pretty much only want to do Tob, but I'm gonna need potions and food and blood runes, and like that is a grind in itself.
Yep.
And that's something that I'm not content with. Oh, I've run out of charges. I'm going to start using my Blade of Salador. That doesn't interest me.
Yep.
I want to use my scythe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the chorescape. I guess yeah, like you said, you just don't turn it into a chore. You do your best to do that if that's possible.
I'm not gonna lie though. I mean, if I had started an Iron Man now, Jesus Christ, that'd be bad. I think I was a lot more addicted to this game when I was 22, 23-ish. Like I could fucking put some time into hourlies and herb runs and tree. Like I was like the entire experience, I was just all in. Like I wanted to skip work every fucking day. Like I just wanted to play RuneScape and just do everything. I think the older I've gotten, it's just like the chores of a video game. It's like, damn, like I used to enjoy this, but I don't know if I could even make another Iron Man at this point because I'm already really stocked and set up on this account, and like redoing that. It's like,
shout out to the people that make hardcore after hardcore, getting to whatever they get to.
I don't understand it, dude.
I could not do that.
That sounds like hell.
I got one hardcore to like Gauntlet, and then that was like, I'm not doing that again. That's it. That's a whole journey, and even just to continue as an Iron Man after whenever you die around that time is just the chore aspect. I'm assuming you're not tempted at all to make an unofficial Iron Man team, right?
So I have been tempted on making a new account as long as it's a brand new game mode that's not team based.
Okay.
So a brand new game mode, and I was even thinking, people have come out with the idea, and sorry for making this longer because I know you're still on a point, but like Mithril Man mode, where it's main game except there's no GE, and you can't trade with other non-Mithril men. So it's basically like a super big group Iron Man kind of.
Yeah. I mean, they've been dipping their toes into like sort of the surveys, right? They've been putting out asking what sort of different game modes people would be interested in. I like still continuing on that, my favorite OSRS content or whatever. I am a big sucker for leagues. Like leagues is the most fun I've had on this game. The Trailblazer League in particular, I can't remember a time where I've had that much fun on RuneScape.
That's so cool that you get that. I don't get that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just can't.
Is it the temporary aspect for you?
It's all that. It really is. And and to be fair, so last league, which was Shattered Relics or Scattered Relics?
Yep. Yeah, Shattered Relics.
Shattered Relics was fun, and then I realized, I kind of got to be logged in at all times right now. Like, because of the fact that there was options to, like, be logged in overnight. It felt like...
yeah, that was awful, yeah.
Because I like the competition, sort of. I was just playing for fun in a way, but I was still like, damn, like I just realized with these relics, I can just sit at the pure essence mine overnight if I just get a quote unquote illegal client, which at that time was apparently fully legal. Just never log and just have my shit going, and it just
that's not
felt
an issue
like
this time.
it felt like in order for me to really enjoy this, I have to be competitive, and to be competitive, it means no lifing, and then I just feel like shit. And then the fact that it's all gonna get deleted, like, oh my god, I can't do this.
I think it is interesting to think like if people are put off by that, like, oh, it's 8 weeks long, so you have to play, and like, what if you sort of start getting into it in the 7th week or whatever, and then all of a sudden is just no point because the game's getting deleted? And would they benefit from just like kind of like how there's those dead man worlds that are always running or whatever it is, right? Like or the PvP worlds or what, I don't, there are dead man worlds, right? Where it's just sort of
just one. 345.
So like would they benefit from a league version of that, or would that take away from the actual player base playing the main game, or would it not? Does it take away from the hype of the yearly league? I think I don't know. I hate the rushed feeling, but at the same time, every league I've gotten like, you get like halfway in and you kind of do get bored of it. Like you think, oh no, 8 weeks, like, oh, am I going to get everything I want to get done? But you do. Like, for me personally, at least, like six weeks in, I've pretty much done everything I want to do, and I'm not missing out on stuff. And I think there are changes that need to be made. And I think Jagex have spoken about, like, it still sucks that even though, you got 3 times drop rate, but then to go dry in a temporary game mode and to spend like maybe a few days or whatever, still, like, I think I got like 400 KC at the gauntlet just to get my enhanced on leagues. And that felt like just an unnecessary grind. And I think if they cut out that part of it and it just does just get straight to the fun, enjoyable part of, messing around at bosses or whatever, maybe like for me, it's the messing around at bosses with relics and doing just solo hard mode tobs, because that was kind of what I spent the last league doing, and I thought that was really fun.
So would you like to see, like, as soon as you hit drop rate, you get it no matter what, but you can go early?
I mean, that's a so I think there's a few ways you can do it. That is one easy way to do it, but then it kind of gets weird with like maybe clues or something. If you have to get a certain item and then you hit that drop rate, like weird. For masters, right, everything is the same drop rate. Does your clue just just dump? Yeah, or that, I think, for there's that. There's also maybe you can, like, if you get extra Vernix, there's like a weird league shop where you sell it for points, and then maybe you can buy other Tob stuff with your points. Like maybe you can sell a Vernix and get a Scythe, or maybe it's just the drop rate just keeps exponentially getting higher to the point where, like, it's at 3 times and now you've done like 50 Tobs and now your drop rate is like ×6. And then maybe you get, I don't know, maybe you've got like 150 KC and they're like, okay, you're enjoying Tob, you've done a lot of it, you can just have a purple chest every single thing type of thing. Maybe that's the solution. But I think that's something they definitely will explore, because it's been a recurring issue for a lot of people
for sure
for the last leagues. I to be honest, I can see them as Mod Oasis just left, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Mod Oasis, JX Oasis, I think. So so JX Oasis left. So leading up to Leagues 3, Mod Flippy was the main dev, I believe, for Leagues. Shout out Flippy, he's incredible.
Yep.
So he did a lot of Leagues work, ended up leaving Jagex just before Leagues 3, sorry. So then Oasis took over, from what I'm understanding. I know it is a team effort, but I think Oasis played a heavy part. And now Oasis is gone, and we're at the sort of stage where we had the Summer Summit last year where they announced Leagues 3 and some of the details going into it. And it's just, I wonder if they have the resources to make another league. And if not, I see them rerunning Trailblazer, just a rerun. That's where
everybody loved Trailblazer, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it's the restrictions were more heavy on that over Shattered Relic, and I think people enjoyed the restrictions for whatever reason. A lot more than the freedom of
people don't like too many freedoms.
Yeah,
you get too many options, right? Apparently. Burns you out.
I do like the idea of getting to mess around at Cox, at Tob, at Raise 3.
Yeah.
Like that, I don't know. So I kind of am torn between. I definitely think I did enjoy Leagues 2 more, but the fact that I got to play around at Cox and Tob for Leagues 3, like I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would miss that.
What would you like to see from a permanent game mode? Is there any ideas that have ever popped out at you? Like, damn, that would be fucking fun.
It would have to be something very interesting, because I am kind of on the bandwagon of game mode man, whatever. It's just RuneScape is turning into more game modes, and it's kind of blurring the sort of pool or whatever that we have now of just there's just now that they release the unofficial group iron. How many colors of freaking helmets do we have? Like 5 or 6 or something? Like it's getting
I don't
6.
even know.
It's regular. It's Iron Man hard mode ultimate. That's 3.
Okay.
Then you've got Group Iron Man, hardcore Group Iron Man, and then unofficial Group Iron, right?
Oh yeah, what's the unofficial one look like?
So it's a green helmet.
Oh god, let me see that unofficial.
And I feel like it's I don't know. It would have to be a very strong concept of a game mode for me to introduce that now, because I feel like we're getting to a point where it's kind of getting ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so I've talked about this before, of this idea that there was kind of some beauty in no mode old school.
Mm-hmm.
Like pre October 2014, of just everyone's a normal account. Everything's like everybody's got the same rights. Rights.
Yeah.
But like everyone's just on a completely level playing field. Nobody's got any restrictions or anything like that. I mean, you can make up your own, but I mean, Iron Man did totally pump the game's numbers up. I mean, just like without a doubt. I mean, there's so many Iron Men now, but I always just think like, damn, like it was kind of a beautiful, maybe it's me just kind of giving it more credit than is really due, but just thinking like, damn, you can just log in, trade whoever you want. There's no like, oh, you're an Iron Man? Oh, fuck. God damn it. Like, I remember doing Slayer with this guy just, I don't know, a few months back. He just asking if I could borrow some like food or something like that. I'm like, I can't trade you. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I could drop this, I guess, but it's like, this is just, it doesn't even feel like an MMO for that guy. Probably just like, damn it, I can't even interact
I think
with you.
now Iron Man is important, and enough people are involved in it that I think it did its job. Like you said, it pumped up the numbers, right? I don't think Group Iron Man did nearly as well as anyone anticipated. And I think looking back now, it is so obvious why it flopped. Like so I had a team and we were rank 2 for a while, well, for the month we played at least, for 4-man. And I think it comes down to like the idea of playing Iron Man with friends is cool, but then it comes down to different commitments. So like if I'm putting in, let's say I'm putting in 16-hour days in, and I've got a teammate that's doing 2-hour days because he has a full-time job or whatever.
Yep.
Then I kind of get the feeling that they might feel like that I'm being dragged down or anchored by this person, or I have to supply, not only am I an Iron Man, but now I'm an Iron Man that's giving half of my resources to this other person, right? And they might feel the same. Yeah. Or maybe it's just it's like going into this, it was a mode for us to play the game together, and now we're just not playing the game together. And I think the commitment and the time and even the goals of the group is never going to align perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, the farmers did it well and they're doing great, but I without them, like if their team wasn't, like if they weren't pulling in the numbers and doing the advertising and whatever for Jagex, then I think Group Iron is, I mean, I already think it is probably one of the biggest flops of an update.
It's pretty bad.
But I think it would, I think it's I think the group, the unofficial Group Iron and stuff is them just sort of like trying to get as much, like milk as much possible out of the time spent deving that. But I think it's just a lost cause. Just leave it and move on to the next thing.
That's pretty fucking accurate, honestly. It's it's RuneScape at the end of the day. This fucking game, like people have put tens of thousands of hours, like people, like normal people putting thousands of hours into this game. And like, dude, it's just like not going to work. This game can't. I mean, dude, you can barely see like games. I don't know. Maybe if I don't even play any other game, but I remember trying to do. I remember trying to play co-op Elden Ring with my brother.
Okay.
First of all, it's a big fucking shit show. You can't even like hook it up properly. But even if we
Yeah.
were to hook it up properly, it's like I would still want to just play this alone. I feel like, yeah, maybe if everything was flawless. But then again, it's like Elden Ring takes 80 hours. 80 hours in
Right.
this game is like getting to level fucking 60. It's like
Yeah, I mean,
on one skill. I don't know. I mean, higher than that, but it's like
I know Addy's spoken about that a decent amount on Twitter and stuff, saying that, I mean, it is bad for the new player experience. Is just you see Cox or whatever, knowing you're like thousands of hours away from that.
thousands, yeah.
Like, that is
but
ridiculous.
That is okay. I'm gonna be honest. That is the beauty of RuneScape, in my honest opinion, is that there is a lot of fun to be had at pretty much any level. Like, yeah, it sucks if your entire objective is just to get to that point. Like, dude, that's not RuneScape though. I mean, the beauty of
Yeah, I
RuneScape
know.
is building up to that point, and then you have all that like, oh, like I did this, like I made this account. That's
Yeah.
where all the true fun comes from,
For
is just
sure.
looking at your fucking bank and being like, I fucking did this. Like, let's go.
I think if you come to RuneScape with your previous experience being other MMOs, it's just not going to appeal to you at all.
Nope.
It's
at all.
not. It's not. I think if you've got any form of nostalgia at all, RuneScape, you still enjoy that early like grind or whatever it is. Like just like fucking around, like training woodcutting at fucking Draenor or whatever it is. But yeah, that MMO thing is different. What do you think of the entry mode or the whole talk about easy, like TOA being very accessible to new players on release?
I don't like it personally.
Yeah.
And I've already heard this argument like, damn, it's gonna suck when people just complete TOA first 15 minutes of release. I mean, it's just inevitable. You're just gonna beat it. But like I personally, I have no idea on this, and it's going to come out soon, so we'll know in a matter of time. But like, I think the dust is going to come out by unlocking all invocations. Like, that's the only way you're going to get the dust or whatever it's going to be called.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have all of them unlocked, and that will eventually be a thing where people can consistently do all invocations. It's going to be like Port Khazard and Wooks and people, but like, yeah, I get a little bit upset that like everyone can just do it, because seriously, that's how updates generally flop. Now, I'm glad that there is a challenge setting already, so it's not just appealing to everybody and then that's it. But it's like, okay, there's some settings to be enabled. But I mean, look at what they try to do with Nightmare. They even admitted Nightmare, they tried to do way too much. Instead of just centering it and being a challenging piece of content, they tried to cater to everyone sort of, and it ended up just being this muddy mess of just everything, and just it never excels at any one thing. It's just this crappy piece of shit.
I think for Sani's, they got it so right the second
They
time
nailed it.
around.
They nailed it.
They could have just wiped Nightmare, gotten rid of it, and maybe added a co-op or like a non-single player version of Fasani's.
Yep.
And just the fight is just so much better. But at the same time, it is I think you can definitely argue that it is like way more challenging than regular Nightmare, right? Obviously, there's all these new mechanics in it, which does then come back to that thing. I can see from a business perspective why they want to introduce entry mode on release, because you look at Tob, right, and they've spoken about why they barely, like, why it's taken 4 years or whatever to do a raid, is because Tob came out and they spent 6 months or whatever, I'm assuming, developing it just for maybe 1% of the play base to ever engage with, if that. And I think from a business perspective, that's a flop, right? Like, that doesn't make sense. But then obviously then you look at the marketing side of things, and you look at Inferno and Tob release, and you look at the tens of thousands of viewers getting pulled in, and you can argue then that it does so much in terms of marketing for the game and the excitement, that like the end game that people can strive for and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, I think they're too focused on the actual engagement numbers.
Yep.
And I think the invocation system is definitely the best solution if they're trying to combat that issue, rather than just making the raid easy, because I think that flops instantly. And I think the entry mode is a good way of allowing noobs, or not noobs, but like less experienced PVMers to to engage with the content while also basically. But then also giving like the higher, more talented people a more challenging experience with like all the harder difficulties. But I think it does take away so heavily from that experience of that race. Like the hype around Tob release, and that was just, you can't, dude, it's just not going to be recreated.
It would I mean, we can already imagine if they had made Inferno with invocations. All right, there is the Inferno. Let's just imagine the Inferno was all invocations. Or let's just even say this to make it more simple. There's Inferno, and then there's Inferno entry mode. So Inferno entry mode is monsters only cap doing damage like 15s to you, if they even max.
Pretty much.
So then it's like you're going through the whole fucking thing, beating Zook, because Zook can't even one-shot you anymore.
Yeah.
You just run. It just feels off. It's like, so I get to get all this practice in. That's like the easy mode. I don't know. There's something off about it. And I understand that it appeals to somebody to get practice and stuff, but like, damn, like I want personally, and I'm totally okay with the invocations. I think it is the right route to go if they're a business and everything. But like, dude, if Raids 3 was all invocations on at once from day fucking one, that's it. Like, just go. It's like, dude, yeah, it's pretty fucking unfair because those that have had a lot of experience in this game and those that have connections with other fucking high-level PvMers are just going to be raking in bills, if not fucking trills. But, yeah, I mean, that's really where the excitement comes down to. It's like, dude, this is it. Like, this is the fucking hardest shit you're ever going to deal with. A bunch of coordination involved. Like, I don't know. It takes away from that, for sure.
I'm very interested to see how the scaling aspect of drops happens with the easier modes. If you can at all get uniques, or if it has to be so diluted. Because if they're bringing in a lot more players engaging with the content, that it's just going to get flooded with items. But just quickly, I just thought, I think another aspect of Inferno and Tob is the wiping mechanic, which I have a feeling won't exist in Raids 3. Because they've spoken about wiping being a very punishing mechanic for learners, and I have a feeling it's going to be like Cox, where you can, at the end of the day, just brute force your way through a raid. I think that's what's going to ultimately ruin the hype. I think that's going to happen. I think there's, you're going to race for like first deathless completion. Like, I don't think anyone cares enough for that, and it's. I think that might be more damaging than the invocation system, is the lack of a wiping feature. That's my instinct feeling that I've got.
You're totally right. I personally feel like they could have practiced with invocations on a lesser piece of content.
Yeah.
Like something way lesser, give us an idea of how they kind of feel. Because seriously, man, you need, especially with the fucking player base today, like everyone just wants hard shit to come out. That's still fun, of course. You can't just come out with hard mode Tob. Like, that's not going to be any fun.
Also keeping in mind that they've spoken about, like, they have no plans. I think they briefly mentioned, like, they see a new raid coming out in 3 years. Like, like, if that's the case,
then why are you diluting this one? I know, it's like, quit diluting it if you're only going to come out with these every 3 years.
I mean, it is interesting to think of what we'll have in between then and now. Like, I mean, what have we had since Tob? Is Fasani's Nex and hard mode Tob, I want to say, is like everything we've got in terms of PVM. I know there's been that Tussacle Trials or whatever that Husky pitched, that I'm very much so looking forward to. And that would be a good filler content, like between then and now. But in terms of difficulty, the raids have to, at the end of the day, be like the hardest content, in my opinion, especially Raids 3. I mean, there's just that sort of assumption that the raids are just going to keep getting harder than the previous, right? Like, Tob is harder than Cox. So we kind of expected, maybe TOA to be harder than Tob. Is that a fair? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's going to be with all invocations.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm so glad that we have. The hard mode.
I wonder what is the determining factor of making something still fun but really hard. Because a lot of people say hard mode Tob just isn't as much fun because it's just like more difficult just to be more difficult. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think a lot of the rooms of hard mode Tob are just kind of shit. like the maiden mechanic is just all crab spawn and you can't kill the blobs, which you probably aren't doing anyway if you're doing hard mode Tob. But I do like the ramp up damage that maiden has that's not many people know about. That's like if maiden hits you more than once in a row, it does more damage. That's a cool mechanic. But besides like just going through the rooms, it's just there's not really hard mechanics. And I think answering your question about like what is like that balance, I think stupid shit like Fasani's Nightmare, like final phase, turning your prayer off. I don't think that's a hard mechanic. I think that's annoying mechanic.
Really?
And I don't know. And even and a lot of people talk about reacting to mechanics not being fun. Like people don't like I don't know. It's like the Hydra.
Yeah.
No.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is that idea that like Fasanis can melee you at any point. So now you have to be aware the whole entire fight of like this random 1-tick window of getting your melee prayer up. It's like just the fact that can happen at any fucking point is like annoying.
Yeah, and I think they've gotten to a point where counting mechanics are just not going to happen again. I'd hope after Gauntlet and Hydra, I feel like we're done with that feature because nobody enjoys that. Even with your little animation at that point, you might as well just make it a mechanic where I'm doing something to, I don't know. Anyway, but.
So I mentioned this day one Fasani, my first ever kill going in there. I got to the very end and the sleepwalkers started running into Fasanis and hitting me 15s. And I was running around for 3 fucking minutes, blow piping every single sleepwalker and not hitting Fasani at all. Like I was literally running, dude. I'm not gonna lie, as silly as that sounds, that was the most fun I had in that fight. Because it was so fucking hard, so precise, and so accurate. Like, you had to be clicking tiny little targets running into you. And on top of that, dodging all of these fucking circles everywhere. And it was fun. I was having the time of my fucking life. So much focus. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. And then I realized, oh, you can just skip this whole fun mechanic by which is also kind of cool in a way. But it's just
funny. Skidler did the exact same thing, but about a month ago. Like, so he just decided to learn Fasanis, and he did it. He was like, "Fuck it, I'll do it without a guide." And obviously, like, you're just used to sleepwalkers. Like, you kill the sleepwalkers before they go in because you will die. And so, like, everyone in chat at this point, obviously, like, mostly know that that last phase, you just hit the boss, right? And so, like, everyone, and he's not reading the chat because, you know, he's focusing on killing these sleepwalkers. So everyone in the chat is just losing it at this dude spending, like you said, like
3 minutes.
Just minutes running around below piping sleepwalkers going like, dude, oh, bro, is this going to end? Like, it was so funny.
Dude, it is actually fun. I was thinking like, dude, how cool would it be? Like Raids 3, there's a similar room where a bunch of things are trying to charge up this enemy and your whole purpose is to not let a single one go through, and there's black holes falling, there's meteors falling on you, there's all these arrows shooting at you, like so much precision and dodging, but it's fair. It's still fair. It's to the point where it's like, okay, you're not going to get RNG'd by certain things. There's always a way to get out of things, and you're just running around with 4 other teammates just trying to kill all these motherfuckers before they enter. Like that would be fun.
I think that is I'd be down for that.
It's chaotic. It's one of those Nilo rooms that I've always wanted. Nilos, to me personally, I've never enjoyed. Personally, the waves is too fucking boring. It's just like,
I remember the lane conversation that happened. See, I think I'm on Team Lane. I do enjoy Nilos. Just the aspect, the skill gap. I enjoy the skill level of that.
No, that's fair. Like, for speedrunning, I can imagine that's really fun.
I just the efficiency of how efficient. Like, I'm nowhere near like efficient at Nilos, but like I sort of know what I'm doing, right? And I just enjoy the aspect of like sort of knowing I have to hit this, then I have to hit this,
so,
or like.
Let me ask you this: would you have more fun in Nilos if? Let's just think of a new kind of Nilo room. But now every single thing you hit is a guaranteed one-shot like Sleepwalkers. So there's no bullshit. Like I missed this dude 3 times. I hit 3 zeros on this one Nilo, which very rarely
No.
happens, but it does. Like
I no, because I do enjoy also then the skill level of adapting to how the room's going, because obviously like the splits of the bigs is different, right?
That's
like
true.
this big might pop and do 2 ranges, or it might be a major and a melee. I do like the sort of the adapting to what's in the room aspect, and I feel like you'd just instantly lose that with the no randomness thing.
Well, the no randomness, as in like you guarantee one shot things, would just mean that there's more coming in. Like now there's a fuck ton. Like there's like double coming in at you, but now you get that satisfaction where it's like, dude, you click one, it's gone. Click another one, it's gone. It's like just like
I
boom,
guess,
boom, 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 boom. I don't know. I find that like
I feel like once you get to a certain level, it's just going to be like automated. It's the same every time. Well, I mean, obviously that is a high level,
and
but I feel like at that point,
and that would be where those black holes come in. And so I know I'm kind of like morphing the 2 rooms. It's like there is those
Holy
like
fuck.
you have to keep fucking moving, but you have a Nilo room that's like, dude, there is nonstop shit going on. But this room is not going to last 4 minutes now. It's going to last 2 minutes or maybe a minute and a half. Just 90 seconds of full blown fuck. Kill everything. Like you just got hit a 70 from a fucking black hole. So now you're like on panic mode. Like, dude, that would be fun.
I actually do like the idea of how chaotic. I would love to see a Nilo room with the black hole.
I want
mechanic.
that, dude.
Dude,
I want short, fast-paced chaoticness. Like you have just passed a sepulcher hallway, arrow shoot. Now you finally enter the room. Now you instantly got these black holes running and just a fuck ton of these like scarabs coming at you.
Arrow shooting down the lanes with the Nilo crabs.
Yeah, just boom, 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 smacking them up, and like there's meteors falling and shit. Like but it's all there. You cannot get RNG fucked by like circles and stuff. I don't know.
Did you ever keep up with the like people were discussing what the mechanics of hard mode Tob were going to be just before it came out, when they'd obviously already announced it? People were saying like, oh, Nyla's going to be random waves, or like Maiden can move around the room, or just stupid shit like that. Like the theory crafting and the ideas people were coming up with were so much more interesting than what we got. I think that would be hilarious. Yeah, the soap maze is just stupid. It is just unnecessary, and I think it's just an awful mechanic. It just slows you down. The only mechanic is it slows you down.
Yep.
And I don't think that's a fun mechanic. But yeah, I mean that the chaoticness is why I think Fasani's is pretty like you grab Fasani's and you put that in a room of a raid, and it works so well as a raid boss.
That'd be fun, dude.
Like Fasani's could have just been a boss in Tob or a boss in TOA. I think it has the mechanics and the uniqueness that it is just such a good boss.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So have you ever played what is it? Is it just red light, green light? Or is it, I think it's red light, green light, where you like run and then they say red light and you have to stop.
Yeah.
Like imagine there's a soda seg maze where you can all just see each other. There's no bullshit. You don't have to rely on somebody else's, but it's red light, green light. So it's like you're fucking running, and
that would be very funny.
Like you have to get there as fast as possible, but like the dude is just faking you out, and you have a 1 tick window. Every time he says stop, you have that 1 tick window to stop where you are. Or like
that would be a very. I think Soup. If you're listening to this, Gillen or Games, you need to put that on. That is hilarious,
dude. That would be fun as shit. I'm not gonna lie. Simon Says, where they do these little animations that fake the fuck out of you, and you're just getting jebaited basically. And you have this similar soda seg path where you still have to be accurate. And I mentioned this, I don't even know, probably multiple times on different casts where we've talked about TOA. But imagine like a soda seg maze that's different colors: red, green, and blue. And so when you're on the red, you got to be praying melee. When you're on the blue, you got to be praying mage. When you're on the green. So it's nonstop. Like you're running, you're making those nice diagonals, but you're also having to switch your prayers when you're on those true tiles,
Yeah.
And so that's a little bit more of that skill that's kind of more engaging.
I mean, that's like kind of part of what people were theorizing for Soap was that imagine Soap just kept shooting balls at you while you're on the maze. Or like there was 2 different mazes, like you followed, like person 1 followed person 2's maze and person 3 followed person 4's maze, and they sort of zigzag at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like I think there's mechanic, like this just goes back to Sepulchre and just the enjoyment and the skill that goes into movement in this game. And I think that is something they could definitely explore a whole lot more than they already do.
Absolutely. I just love how there's so much potential for this game. Like it's all so clunky. It's 0.6 second intervals and everything's tile based, but there's still so much that you can just have fun with.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've done it. They've done it a few times now with Tob and Inferno in particular. Well, I guess Inferno maybe Tob, and yeah, it's just the mechanics of the boss come out, and when they come out with unique mechanics that we haven't seen before, it's like, damn, they designed this within the restrictions of RuneScape with, like you said, 0.6 tick intervals and the tile base and everything that goes into it. Like, damn, there are interesting mechanics that they've come up with, and still ones that they've not even thought of, probably. And yeah, I mean, shout out to, I guess, them when they pull it off, because they do pull it off sometimes.
The biggest thing is really just trying to keep the game as less clunky as possible. Did I just say that right? Just making it as less clunky. What am I trying to say? Does that make sense?
Yeah, like Sepulchre. Like, you look at Sepulchre and it's fluid. It's fluid.
Yeah.
And then you look at other things like rat catchers and it's not fluid, or other stuff like that. There is definitely a fluidity that comes with a good design.
Dude, shit, you just brought up something I was just thinking of. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. God damn it. Oh well, I'll think of it in a second. But while we're sitting here, I want to ask this question from Zoud. He asks, what is your favorite pet in game and why?
Okay, so this is like a thing I think about sometimes. It just briefly mentioned Witchcrafty's plushies, which are awesome. I don't know what plushie I would ever want to get, because I don't think I have that much of an attachment to any pet. And I feel like if I did get one, it would have to be a pet I own. The pet that I would love the most is the Bloodhound pet, because then my clue bank of my clue tab gets deleted, and that is a big junk mess. So a Bloodhound is, I would love a Bloodhound pet. In terms of like visually, I guess, damn, I do enjoy the Tob, the dust, like the little Soat and the little Zarpus are really cool.
Dude,
but I don't have that, sadly.
I'm not gonna lie, a Kraken pet plushie with a Santa hat on it.
Yeah,
bro, that would be my fucking go-to. Like, Kraken. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people talk down on Kraken. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, no, it's the AFK pet.
Kraken is one of the most OP pets. First of all, it's tiny, which it already scores a bunch of points. I like small pets. Keep them small. Look at, and I brought this up before. I think I even brought it up on the Aiza cast. The fucking tiny temper. First of all, why is tiny even in that? That thing is massive. Its arms extend beyond its tile. Like, dude, you could have shrunken tiny temper to be the size of Kraken, and it would have been the coolest fucking pet in the game. But instead, it's this massive, like, Jesus Christ, this thing's gonna eat me. Like, when I turn away, like, this is not a good pet. I don't know, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think even like the Soul Wars pet's huge. I mean, the Barbasol pet is just massive. KQ pet is massive. Creo is massive.
Now, it's okay to have a few large pets, but like, dude, the smaller the cooler, in my opinion.
Now that I think about it, the pet that I have halfway to the rune crafting pet, but the Guardians of the Rift recolor. You just don't see that anywhere, and that dude looks so cool.
So dope.
It's what, 3,000 pearls. I go and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go buy the recolor, and I do like 2 games of Guardians of the Rift, and I did somewhat enjoy it on release. Like I put like a decent amount of time into it. But just going there and knowing that I'm doing a grind for 3,000 pearls, I just leave. Like I can't commit to it, sadly. Yeah. But that pet, dude, he looks cool. They smashed that.
They own it. Yeah.
And obviously, there's the meme about the Abyssal Protector, like the actual Guardians of the Rift pet, which is interesting. I think he's kind of cool.
He's cool because he's so like OG. He's just like, he's ugly as fuck. Yeah. Nobody even knows what they're looking at, but it's like, oh, it's kind of cool, charming.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, you're totally right about that. The Aqua Rift Guardian.
Yeah, I need to commit to it. He's cool. I feel like I'd never see it. I just never see someone walking around with it.
I've only seen it once, and it was in a raid I was doing on stream.
Yeah,
somebody brought it. I was like, that looks sick.
So you have to both have the rune crafting pet and you have to have spent
Yeah.
however long to get 3,000 pearls. I
Yeah.
don't even know what the EHP is for that, but
Yeah,
maybe I have to commit to
that's
it.
got to be like what 40 hours? Am I just pulling a number out of my ass? I don't know.
I don't know.
What was the
How
outfit?
long is what's the acorn from Sepulchre? How long is that? Because maybe
Oh,
I need to
that's
get
only
that as well.
That's only 3,000, and that probably only takes like 15 hours. Like
If you're doing like all looting of like floor 4 and 5 or whatever.
probably just 4 and 5. Yeah, if you looted
Yeah.
all 4, I think I'd skip 1 and 2. Just do 3, 4, and 5 would
Yeah.
be the best.
Yeah.
Get a lot of
Yeah.
marks. You get them
I-
fast.
Have you got the pet?
I don't have a squirrel pet or the Rift Guardian pet
Ah,
yet.
dude, the squirrel. Yeah, because I'm assuming you definitely have the marks or whatever to buy the recolor.
Yeah, I have the acorn in
You
my
live
bank.
Yeah.
I have the acorn in my bank and like 13,000 more marks. Like I bought everything
Yeah.
plus teleports, and I still have like a shit ton of marks.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I need. I don't think I ever see that either. Now that I think about
Dark
it.
Squirrel's
Yeah.
dope, but yeah, that Aqua RC pet.
Yeah,
is
maybe I
something
need to
else.
get both of them. Fuck it. I'll get. That's my goal for sometime this year.
It is.
Okay, that's my answer to my favorite pet. Those two. 'Cause
There
they're
you go.
cool.
There you go. Yeah, that'll work. My favorite is Nibbler, and one of my all-time favorites as well. I don't know where they're ranked, but Vedion.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, Vedion.
Small.
Yeah. I think all the wilderness pets, to be fair, are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are. I was thinking back to where I lost my train of thought. I still have pretty much lost my train of thought completely on that. But something of just keep things smooth. Like, make gameplay that's fun and smooth and just repeatable, that's enjoying. And the pieces of content that I always find really fun, that I always want to go back to, are those where I feel in control. I feel like I click, I get what I did. Like I do, like stuff happens when I click.
Yeah.
When you look at Winter Todd, you fucking fletch a kindling. It takes 4 fucking ticks just for one action to be done.
Yeah.
And by that time, you've already been frozen, like by Winter Todd.
I
Like,
think they spoke about reworking that. I think that does need to be reworked. That the interruption and also obviously the HP scaling thing, which they've been speaking about for years, going, oh yeah, that's a good idea. We should probably do that. Probably first mentioned that about 4 years or whatever. I don't know when that came out. It's been a while, but yeah, I think that is like, yeah, just little changes like that. I think.
oh, I thought of it finally.
Yeah.
The thing I was going to mention, I was mentioning on the stream. You've probably already heard this, but a lot of people haven't. It is a new Piro 2.0. And this Piro would not have a single fucking wheat field in it. Just remove the wheat fields. No, I'm okay. You know what? I gotta look
That
this.
is a horrible thing.
I gotta look
It
this
is-
up right now. When did Piro come out? Like
Oh, that's ancient as well.
2007.
Yeah, what's Xanaris and Lost? It would have all Lost City. That's like, yeah, Dragon Longsword type of vibes. I'm assuming. Oh no, but that earlier. When did what's Lost City? When did that come out? The same time?
Yeah, it must have.
2002.
Oh
Okay.
Jesus.
So it came out like, okay. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? It came out afterwards.
So Piro is one of the most annoying places of all time. You got these implings that can freely fly over these things that take a player
Just
like
look at
7
that
fucking
image.
seconds to cross.
It's just,
Dude. Okay, so
yeah,
This-
it's horrible.
this is my take on this. Okay, so we are now living in the year 2022, which is 15 years later after this has been released. Can we
Jesus.
please, for the love of God, with the completion of Lumbridge Draenor Diary, I'm talking full elite completion, you now have another portal that sends you to Piro that's an exact replica without a single fucking wheat field.
It's
And-
funny you say that because I was literally thinking lock it behind a diary.
That is literally it. Lock it behind elite Draenor Lumbridge Diary. So bots are not infesting there. And if a bot does come in there, you ban them and they have to go reclaim a quest cape again. Good
Yeah.
fucking luck with that.
Yeah.
Keep it behind there and then have this free roaming so you're never feeling like you're being like claustrophobic behind these fucking wheat fields that just won't go away.
Yeah.
Now you have a complete wide open area. You have all the same worlds. You can still see players on there. You got to hop, if you want to. But now you don't have the bullshit of hopping wheat fields. Can we like is it too OP to get rid of wheat fields in 2022? Like, can we just please get the fucking rid of them? Let us. Okay, how about this? Elite Diary and 99 Fire Making. You got to burn down the wheat fields yourself with 99 Fire Making.
Yeah, I can get around that. Give fire making a use.
Yeah.
Besides, what's our use of fire making? Those little pits that you can do that kind of
those little salt
need of one
pits.
item. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
speaking of locking stuff behind diaries, Karend, the Elite Diary, let me fuck off scouting. Why is scouting at Cox a thing?
Thank you.
And another little suggestion that someone like recently mentioned to me, a little bank chest in the starting room that you can use for when you're self-scouting. Okay, I got mystics. I'll take my salve out. I'll gear out. I don't, because you just, the process right now is an alt comes in, holds the raid. You have to have an alt, and I go bank. Just why can't I have a little bank? And when you start the raid, the bank disappears. Boom, I'm away, and away I go.
Yep.
That like a little bank booth or a person, an NPC, even if that makes it easier, and just delete the NPC. But I think that is another, like that process when we're going back to like the sort of clunky feel. Scouting is just, I mean, that's a reason why people, I think, eventually just move to solo CMs or CM group CMs, because you just bypass the scouting feature at that point.
Scouting sucks.
Yeah.
Scouting's awful. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to try to claim that I have a perfect solution for it, but there's probably people with perfect solutions for getting rid of scouting that's fair and balanced and be able to get your own beautiful raids all the time. Maybe it
even like a whitelist or something, like you can ban one boss and it re-rolls the rotation or the scout.
Ooh, imagine like a raids master. Instead of a slayer master, it's a raids master. So now you got a raids master. You go there, you block the rooms you want with a certain amount of unlocks you got. And then the more raids you complete, now fuck it. Just make them permanent. Just be like, dude. I don't know.
The only issue with that is that there's that whole like how the scouting system works, right? And that like a mystics can only be after a tecton and it can never be in the same raid as a vanguard or vassal, whatever. There is that sort of like level of like generation that they've obviously made in Spaghetti Code or whatever it is. But think, or even like a menu where you click and it gives you pop up and like an interface. There's 3 different scouts. You either click, I'll take option 1, option 2, option 3, or just reroll.
Yes.
I mean, that just makes this like a board, like a little notice board where it's like here are the scouts, and you just take one.
Please.
More rolls of scouts. Yeah.
Please, for the love of God. Yeah. No, I mean, seriously, it gets to the point where, like, there's been enough time that has passed. Like, dude, just let us choose the exact raid we want. Like, imagine you could actually just have a perfect fucking raid every time without paying a dime. Like, is it really, like, we have to pay or we have to do something just to have fun in this game? Like, just to have a nice scout? Like, Jesus.
Exactly what is. It just does come down to people eventually just start buying scouts from scout bots and stuff like that. And that's I think that's a anti-fun, sort of clunky way of doing it, and 100%. Definitely solve it.
Okay. Whale. Oh God. You know what? Should I even ask this? He wants to know what's your favorite. No,
it's the exact same thing that EVscape has brought up. Yeah,
I realized. Okay. Yabo asks, I was watching the Based cast with Hootie, and my missus walked in and said, this man definitely fucks, and pointed at Hootie. Is this true? And also, keep away from my missus. I'm threatened.
It's all the mustache, I guess. That's where it comes from. It's just
the mustache and the chest hair from the
and robes, the red and the Hugh Hefner red robe. Yep. But the mustache. I feel like that's just become the iconic feature of me. I've had it for like 2 years, and I don't know. I might get rid of it, to be honest. It kind of is annoying. I don't know if I'm a fan of. I mean, all I can grow is a mustache. I can't grow the beard.
Okay. No. So wait, how old are you, first of all?
26.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right. Okay. Well, first I have to ask you one question as your doctor. I'm your new doctor now. But real talk. Have you ever tried to grow out your beard?
Yeah, I mean, like when I get lazy, I can go like a month or so without. If I'm not going out anywhere, then like obviously I'll shave it. But like
Dude.
I do get that so scruffy. Like,
Okay,
yeah.
listen. So I thought I could only grow a mustache like 3 years ago, and so I grew out my
Yeah.
mustache, and then I was like, oh, I could probably grow out a goatee because I have enough chin stubble,
Yeah.
and so then I tried to grow out my goatee, and it was kind of rough at first, but it finally filled in after a few months, and then I was a goatee rocker for a while, which I'm currently rocking right now.
Yeah.
And-
Yours is a lot thicker than I think I could get.
Dude, I
But
was for sure that I couldn't grow a beard, like for fucking
Yeah.
sure. And then you know what I decided to do? I read something online, and online's never, led me astray. But they told me at the Google, they told me that if I grow out just everything for 3 months, it will look like
Yeah.
total dog shit. First of all, growing it out for 3 months and not doing anything good.
Yeah.
But that's when you truly start getting an idea of like, okay, these patches that I have, which every man has, they have like their little like bald patches, kind of like those start
Yeah.
filling in. Like you can either start
Ah.
covering it and you start kind of filling it in. Like, dude, I'm telling you right now, just looking at your face on this one photo that I have of you, just the
Yeah.
fucking thumbnail. Like, dude, you got what it takes to grow a beard if you wanted
Okay.
it. Now it's of
Maybe-
course it's if you wanted it, but you got to give it time. More than a month,
Yeah.
more than 2 months, even more than 3 months sometimes. Like 4 months is
Okay.
like boom.
When I'm in hibernation,
Yes.
you just go out and
Yeah,
people are going to be looking at you like,
I was
"Damn,
doing
this
it
dude
during
does not care."
COVID, which was
Yeah,
perfect because
that
you're wearing a
makes
mask
sense.
everywhere. I was like,
Dude,
okay,
that
this
is, yeah,
perfect.
100%. That is, yeah. I'll just keep wearing a mask and then
Yeah,
while I grow
yeah.
it out, there you go.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah.
but all I'm trying to say is like you can grow more than you really think you can. Like, and
Yeah.
I thought I couldn't grow shit, and I could.
I mean, yeah, I don't think, at first I didn't think I could even get a solid mustache, but I think I'm in a pretty good spot
You are.
now.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Go for it sometime. I'm growing out my hair currently.
Yeah.
On top, which means I have to like keep my facial hair. If you do both at the same time, it is a mistake. Dude.
Homeless.
Yes. The unhoused. You look like the
Yeah.
unhoused.
This dude does not care about himself. That's what people are thinking.
Yeah. So I've been growing out my hair, and it's like a straight up mullet in the back. I mean, it's like so fucking long in the back, and it just runs out. I'm like, dude, I want to get a haircut so bad, but I need to like see how long this can get. So I'm growing it out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
I mean, EV has gotten to I don't know how long he's been growing his hair, but his hair is just ridiculously long now.
I'm jealous of his.
And it looks good.
Yeah.
He looks amazing.
See, my
It looks
hair's
amazing.
my hair's thinning on top slightly.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting to a thinning pot.
It fucking sucks because it makes you feel like when I started growing out, I didn't even realize I was thinning until I started growing out my hair, and then I realized, oh, some of this hair is growing a lot like worse. It's just not growing in as full and healthy as some other parts.
Yeah.
It's more toward the crown, but I'm like, damn. So I'm doing some treatment on my hair.
Yeah. I
And
respect it.
I just realized like I'm fucking jealous of people with perfect hair now. Like I'm like
when
fucking
that
envious.
solid thick hair.
Yeah.
Like, holy damn.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll kind of see how like combined with the treatment and just growing out my hair longer, if it kind of gets to a luscious state, I'd love to get it styled and just like
Holy.
have a really nice like that's a good look. But it takes a
Yeah.
lot of time and effort and a lot of like painful stages to get to that point. For me at least.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. I'm looking through these topics. We don't really have many more. Actually, I can't really see any that are like super relevant anyway. But actually, here I got one from Zulu. He asks: scroll wheel, middle, or index?
That is a index.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't understand this argument that what if you need to left click while you're scrolling? You're just gonna start dragging the text. Like what? That's not a thing.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you trying to select the whole page? Like what?
It's like people that use both feet for their gas pedal and brake pedal.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what, you're gonna try to do both at the same time? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. It's also interesting, like the different grips, right? Like, does your fingers lay flat along the top, like your mouse, or do you have like a sort of curved, like claw?
Oh
sort
yeah,
of
no, I'm.
hold?
There's claw and what else? What's the other?
I think there's like flat, like your fingers just lay.
Is that just what it's called? Because I'm flat, pretty much.
There's a few. Hang on, let's see. different? I don't even know what to Google.
I just remember there's a claw stance and there's
Okay.
like lying down or whatever it's called.
I found this image, which is palm grip, claw grip, and fingertip grip.
There we go. Let's see this.
I'm a claw grip.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I am kind of fingertip. I think I'm fingertip grip.
Yeah,
Because that's like the
your palm
hybrid.
doesn't just sit like your palm doesn't just sit flush like with the
Oh
entire
no,
mouse.
yeah, I'm not full on palm. I'm
Yeah.
fingertip.
I wonder if there would be like a stat for like the most talented gamers, if like PC gamers, if there's a specific thing that's more accurate. I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. You know what? I'm gonna ask like
Yeah.
Adicon and
Yeah, ask the fast clickers
Woogs,
what they're
people,
thinking. Actually, just send out a poll. I reckon that'd be interesting.
dude, yeah, just send
Then I
this
can-
fucking image with it as
Yeah,
well.
with the poll. Yeah, that would be interesting. I wonder.
Do it. I want
Yeah,
to
but
know the
I'm a
results.
claw. That's my claw and index to scroll is my mouse. With my thumb also pressing my two little buttons. I have my two little macro
Dude,
buttons.
claw
on.
looks fucking painful.
No,
Jesus.
it's just
Sit
maybe
like
it is
that.
bad for my hand. Yeah, I don't know. I never get like a sore hand or anything, and I spend hours on. I think sometimes when editing, I think the longest I've gone is like 22 hours. Somewhat like not eating, maybe like or like obviously like occasional like bathroom breaks, but 22 hours of just like focused in the zone editing. And yeah, I've never had like eye issues or like hand issues or anything like that, which is pretty grateful for.
Yeah, that
But-
fingertip grip is OP. That's what I'm
Yeah.
like. I always thought I was kind of palm grip because I never actually knew there was a fingertip grip. I thought it was just like
Mhm.
in between. But
There you go.
yeah, fingertip is definitely me.
Friendzone did ask a question. I'll just point out, I just saw it then. When were you the most proud of your artistic ability? I don't think did we go through this? My best artistic ability.
Let me find it. Oh, I see it. Here, let's read. Oh, you forgot the first question.
Oh,
How can
yeah.
one? How can one person be so sexually attractive and talented at the same time? And he also
don't know.
asks, when were you the most proud of your artistic abilities? Any medium. I love you both.
Shout out Friendzones. The first question, I don't know. That's like the actors, dude. I feel like there's those people that you see and they're just like, damn, that person has got it all going on. That's like Skidler. I'm gonna say that's the Skidler.
Yeah. No, it's straight up. He's a handsome dude, funny as
Yeah.
fuck, has
Dude, we
a
got
stream,
hella
which is
handsome dudes.
it's just like being a streamer is kind of cool in its own. It's like, ooh, like you're a
Yeah.
streamer as well. Like, yeah.
Yeah, very good at what he does. When were you the most proud of your artistic ability? I'm gonna say, in terms of like my RuneScape stuff, it was probably the BR2 when I got to sort of brand and sort of market an entire like event, and I did all of that. Like I'm talking like the branding of like the logo and then all the color palettes and all that goes with it. And then in terms of the marketing, it's like releasing the hype trailer, like the like logo reveal trailer that sort of says we're doing an event, and then you release the roster trailer where it shows off all the people in it, and that's always has been the most hyped one. I don't know if you saw the BR2 one where it sort of goes through the people. That I feel like that even the BR3 one, that one was that is some of my like most proud stuff. And then you go into like a prize pool announcement video and like the date announcement video, and you sort of like marketing the event for like a good like 2 months, just constant stuff. And that feels like it's like a big task to take on and to do well. And I feel like we've pretty much smashed the BR2 and BR3 in terms of marketing and execution of branding and all the assets that go with it and all the overlays and yeah, I mean the thing about being an artist is you always, like every 6 months or so, you can sort of reflect on what you've done, and you'll always look back on stuff and go, damn, that kind of sucked, but at the time it was awesome. And I think that's just showing like your improvement and your personal improvement is obviously like you're going places because you're able to see sort of like where you were, and you can tell you've come like a decent way and you've improved. So I think it's just constantly like, I think it is like it's it's definitely very nervous and stressful going. Damn, we had so much success with the last event, and it's almost like you have to always one up it, right? And so for the Speedrun Cup 2, we're kind of, I mean, yeah, it's the sequel to the Speedrun Cup, but we are kind of coming off the BR3, which did, like, I don't know, we had like 10,000 or whatever viewers at the time, and you always do kind of have to one up yourself, or at least I feel that. And now even with the Speedrun Cup 2, we've just released that cinematic trailer, and it's like, damn, what do I have to do for the next event to live up to that hype, or to even like push boundaries further? And I think yeah, I'm definitely always proud of how well the events run. And yeah, I think the BR2, the BR3, and the Speedrun Cup 1, and now I guess Speedrun Cup 2, I think we've executed pretty well. And I think EVscape's definitely leading the event organizing aspect of RuneScape.
Yeah. No, I am truly fucking excited for this. It looks like you guys are just like, the cool thing about community ran events, and I don't know, like, it sucks that Jagex kind of relies on you guys at this point, like, just the community. Oh, you guys do something, we're not gonna fucking get involved. But there truly is a lot more passion involved, I feel like. And so you get a product that's just like, they truly care about having this be good. It's not just like Jagex. It's not just like a project you're working like, if this bombs, whatever, I still have a fucking job. It's like, no, you guys are like, and I mean, it on top of it, you guys trying to make it a great event. It's also like you guys are trying to build, your own name, sort of like you want to make something fucking good. That's like, okay, this guy was behind it, and that was fucking quality. So let's.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's
there's more writing on it.
It is kind of the reason I did end up taking on this tournament, because like at the end of the day, when I have to do all the admin sort of stuff, which is like my last 2 months, to put it into perspective, there's 4 matches that are in the quarterfinals that are best of 5s, right? So that's, each team has to do a piece of content 5 times, because we kind of got them to do all 5 events. And then if they won 5-0, we'll only show 3-0, because technically that's all that mattered in a best of 5, but they still do it, and I still have to watch it. So both teams run their 5 events. So that's 10 bosses I have to watch for one quarterfinal. So 40 for the first round, because there's 4 matches. So 40 bosses. And then for the semifinal, it's best of 7, and there's 2 of them. So both teams do 7 times by 2. Again, that's 28. So that's 68 bosses. Then the grand final is a best of 9. So that's already, so we're at like 80 or something bosses that I've had to watch people do over the last 2 months. So like, oh yeah, we'll schedule our cocks. And it's me waking up at like, setting alarms at like 2 a.m. And then now I'm like 3 hours later, I've got to go watch this guy's Tob. And then 4 hours later, I've got to go watch this guy's Gauntlet. And it's all happening like in a little schedule. And in terms of like, I'd like to get like a monetary, like a respectable amount from it. Like I'm obviously never going to achieve that, because the time spent is just ridiculous, right? Like without Jagex funding, like you're just not going to get that return of like time. But it's like you said, it's being able to like have this associated with like my name, I guess, and knowing that I did this and I managed to pull off this tournament, and it went well, and people received it well, and it's something that people are grateful for having in like their RuneScape experience, and like enjoyment as like a spectacle is just like it. That is one of the main driving factors for the reason where I'm doing a sequel to a tournament that takes just so much admin. Like there is just so much that goes behind the scenes compared to like what you get out of it, I guess. Like compared to the battle royale, like the battle royale is like a live event, right? And it goes for 2 hours. So that like obviously all the time that goes into the graphics and the promotional stuff, but the admin side isn't nearly as large as the Speedrun Cup, which is never going to do as well as the BR. We don't have 32 big content creator names promoting and featuring in it, right? But yeah, it is my chance, I guess, to sort of take what I've learned from EV and also shout out to Mason and Crusader talent for basically acquiring all the sponsors and helping make it possible that I am, obviously we are getting like paid and making money for doing this event. We're not doing it for free, so
Yeah.
it's not that a waste of time in terms of that. But yeah, it's a big undertaking, and I'm excited for it to all be done and to hopefully have a little bit of time to step away from making RuneScape related stuff for at least a week or two to just
At
breathe
least
and
an
not
hour. Yeah.
burn myself out. And yeah, and on that note, we're never hosting another Speedrun Cup again. No, I did toy around with the idea of a mini one in the future, which instead of best of nines and that, it's just a best of five with the TOA coming in. So that'd
be cool.
Balances. But yeah, that's like we won't think about that too much now because it is such a commitment, and the graphics that have gone into this, like you'll see it on the stream, or if you don't catch the stream, it's going to be on YouTube anyway. But like the graphics that go into, like I'm talking, we've got, like, you're watching runs, there's a scoreboard at the top that shows all the scores of the event so far. That's like updated to show what we're up to now. We've got a scoreboard that shows how much each team that you're watching has like won. You've got multiple perspectives that Jake can switch between during the TOB. So he's freely going between the TOB perspectives with name tags that show who you're watching. We've got split counters on the right. So as soon as they finish bloat, it's like a split that says, we're 4 minutes into the raid.
So dope.
Or if it's 10 Zora kills, because that's the Zora, it's like an average of 10 kills. It's your thing on the right that's just tracking the 10 kills. Like it. And then at the end, it's like there's graphics that show, how the teams have matched up so far. Like there is just so much that I hope is making this a visual spectacle, as well as just an interest in how the tournament runs. But yeah, it's a lot of work, but hopefully it's all worth it for the viewing experience.
I have this other topic. They're just the topics are just so fucking jumbled. I swear I see all of them and then I miss one. But this is from Rem Cave. As an artist, which other OSRS artists do you take inspiration from? And do you think there are some undiscovered artists which definitely deserve more recognition from the community?
Yeah, I mean, going back to the Mount Rushmore, my top four is definitely Smokey, who, I mean, heavily inspired the cinematic I made because of all of his 3D stuff in general, but mostly the Swampletics thing, which I actually did tweet at the time, and I retweeted like more recently to the trailer release, was, damn, Smokey, you really inspired me to hopefully take on a big project like you did. And then however long later I ended up doing it. And shout out Smokey, he's a good guy. I've spoken to him a lot. We've hung out a lot, played Minecraft together a while ago, and that was fun. But yeah, he I mean, I don't think I would have made the cinematic if it wasn't for him and his stuff that he's done. Ingus and Guns Chili are just amazing storytellers, and also obviously talented with their 3D stuff. So they're other people I take inspiration from, and Nilki, incredible artist and very, very helpful, and is always looking to use new like methods and new effects and stuff. Like, I want to use this effect. No one's used this before. How do I do it? She's a big pioneer for that. In terms of undiscovered artists, so there is an Art Hub Discord that a lot of people are in now. If you want an invite to that, you can DM me on Twitter. Anyone that's listening, it's basically just it's a Discord with all the artists pretty much that exist in old school, and there's showcase channels where you can showcase what you're working on, and people love that. And then there's feedback ones where people can give you feedback on thumbnails or whatever art piece you're doing. There's like a commission section. But then there's also like in-depth like tutorials and stuff for like After Effects, and then there's a Blender channel, and then there's a Photoshop channel, and if you've got any questions, you can put it in there, and there's more often than not plenty of people. In terms of people that I think could like deserve more recognition, I mean, Hexo is starting to get there. A lot more people are discovering Hexo. He's brilliant at the thumbnails and stuff, and 8sat is obviously amazing. Uber is another 3D renderer, has been doing amazing. I mean, Witchcrafty's plushies are just outstanding, so shout out to that. I mean, is it Volca band? That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
I got a lot more recognition now with the
Yeah.
Wise Old Man thing, but previous to that, I would have said, yeah, a very talented artist. We are so spoiled when you think about it, with all the artists we have in the community is just ridiculous at this point. Like, it's just, the list goes on, and everyone's only getting better and better as time goes on, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I'm sure more artists are going to emerge as in the next year or so that are just changing the game or something like that. So yeah, I mean, plenty of talented gamers out there.
Very, very cool. Okay. I guess we'll kind of wrap things up. I have a couple questions I want to ask you, the generic ones. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we kind of conclude?
No, I think I think we've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to discuss with you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got to ask, where do you see yourself, or where would you like to be in the next 5 years?
Damn. I mean, going back to the music festival thing, I would love to be working on like big projects like that. I mean, even in terms of maybe I don't know if it's realistic in 5 years, but having my own like design studio where I've got like staff that like I design with or work under me or whatever it is, or even just working like inside like a really cool studio. Because everything I do at the moment is freelance. I'm pretty much a sole artist that just does my own thing, and I did miss that aspect of at university was the team stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, it was so much fun working in groups with other creative people. So yeah, I think I definitely need to get back into that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, working on that would be awesome. And then in terms of like RuneScape art, if I'm still, I mean, hosting big, just continuing to host those big events with Jake, and then potentially with more funding, they just keep getting crazier and bigger. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Jagex, if you want us to host some cool events for you, I mean, hit us up. We're waiting. But yeah, I mean, more. Yeah, I mean I'm happy with where we're progressing. I think we are progressing, and getting bigger and better with every tournament we do. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the Battle Royale 7 is like in 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
cool.
where I'd like to see myself in 5 years or so.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I don't. I see your future is very, very bright. You're a very talented individual, and you got. I mean, it's very clear you have a pretty strong work ethic. The fact that you're fucking working 16-hour days and just like waking up at 4 in the fucking morning to watch some dude do cocks. Jesus, that sounds weird, but yeah.
Yeah.
For those that like just don't understand OSRS, and I just say that, they're like, what? No. But no, it's really cool, and I'm just excited to see like where your future takes you. Very cool.
Yeah.
Final thing is 3 shout outs. So these 3 shout outs, I mean, you've already shouted out a bunch of individuals.
Yeah, I have. Sorry, I've used them up already.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you've pretty much already used them up. But if there's any that you didn't get to recognize, now would be the time, I guess.
Damn. Okay. Shout out to my friends in the Gigsies Cord, the Discord. They're my homies. They keep me entertained a lot of the time, and they're like it's the reclined casual gaming when I'm not being forced into the EVscape's basement. But yeah, they're the homies. So shout out them. I don't think I haven't shouted out Mason enough, because I mean I've mentioned shout out Mason, but like his team at Crusader, like the things they do for, I mean, in general, just all the creators that are signed with them, but more in particular, what he's done when working with him with Eevescape for the Battle Royale 2 and 3. Well, I think Battle Royale 2 and 3, and then Speedrun Cup. It like we wouldn't really be able to do it without that team and them finding the sponsors and even just doing logistic like background stuff that they do. Yeah. So shout out to Mason and Crusader Talent, and then. I mean, I kind of have to shout out Eevescape again, because I mean he's like become my best friend since like the days of like when we'd barely spoken before the Battle Royale 2, and we spent so much time together, and we do hang out a lot. And I mean, it's crazy to think we live in the same country, but we have never met because I'm on the opposite side. It's a literal 3-hour flight for me to meet him, and I need to. He keeps offering. He's like, I got a free room. You can come and stay with me. So, I mean, he's like, actually, he's my best mate, and I mean, I wouldn't be working on these tournaments obviously if he wasn't running them, and he's killing it. So, I mean, I know he doesn't want to do RuneScape forever, but I mean, I think we have to keep running the tournaments even if we do somehow end up quitting ourselves from the game. But yeah, shout out EVscape.
Very fucking cool. Yeah, I got to give a shout out to EVscape. Just he's awesome. I did have him on the cast, and I know I'm just promoting a different episode, but for real, if you guys have not checked out the EVscape cast, it was phenomenal. He is just so fun to be around. Just fucking funny and just awesome. He sees like the good things in life. He doesn't focus on negatives. He's just having fun. So
his like the Speedrun Cup is like a spectacle to watch, but his casting just puts it on another level. Like, he's gonna say hilarious shit that is gonna make you laugh constantly. He's gonna turn like a boring like single Vorkath kill into like the funniest thing that you've seen on Twitch in like last week. And his charisma is just next level. He's just made for casting. So yeah, I'm very excited for that.
No, 100%. When I think of commentating, it's EVscape or it's Pure Spam if it's more Jagex related, but it's one of those two.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, Hooti Tooti. This was a phenomenal cast. I know it was. I don't know. It was good. I really enjoyed talking to you this afternoon or this morning for you.
And having me on nice and speedy, just in time for the Speedrun Cup, because I know you've got that extensive list of gamers that I know we're going to see in the next coming months.
Yeah. No, it actually worked out pretty well because the guests that I had planned were just not set in stone, and so you reaching out at the time you did was like perfect. And for those that don't actually know, I think I sunburned my fucking eyeball. I know nobody asked about that, but like yesterday I couldn't even record, so I was getting nervous that my eyeball was gonna be like just irritating me for the next like few days. Luckily it kind of cooled down today, so I'm glad we did get this out before everything's up. So guys, down in the description of this video, Hooti Tooti's links will be down there, which is your Twitter.
Yeah, just Twitter. That's all I really use.
You don't want your Twitch down there, just in case you do another sleeping stream.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll stream again.
We'll have your Twitch down there too. Do you have a YouTube?
I mean, not really. I've uploaded like a few of my short animations, but I mean, maybe
we're linking your YouTube. Everyone go sub to him before he blows up. So we'll have all three of those. Is there anything else that you'd like linked?
I mean, we've got to link the EVscape Twitch channel.
We will have your trailer there down in the description. We'll also have the linked. We'll have the Base After Dark episode as well with you and Evie down in the description. So anybody else that wants to hear more, go down there. And what was the other thing you said? I interrupted.
I think it was just his Twitch. That's it. I'm all good from there.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you guys very much for listening once again. If you guys would like to support the cast, there is a Patreon link down in the description. If you guys would like to support for $2 a month, feel free. Your name will be on the title screen. And if we get 50 patrons, which we're very close to, 17 away, we dropped one accidentally. But if we get 17 more, there will be timestamps on all future episodes. So thank you guys very much for the support, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.